get straight into this, since it's about 30 seconds left. So we'll just sit on the file select screen. Oh, it didn't actually do my cropping. Thanks, Node.
Uh-oh.
I'll fix those two overall really soon. But we're gonna get going. So 15 seconds, and I'll leave it to the commentators while I fix stuff.
All right. So I'm gonna start the race, I guess. So here we go.
Here we go, boys and girls.
And everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it's saying that there's a 16-minute timer. I think I might have accidentally left some delay on there. What?
Uh-oh. Technical difficulties.
Yes, we're having technical difficulties. Here we go. No delay. There's no delay.
Seems like three
All right.
started.
Yeah.
Regan restarted, I think.
Oops.
So Regan's behind.
That's okay.
Okay, now we're
So
good.
yeah,
The timer is showing right.
This is Majora's Mask Glitchless, and we're going to have a fun time watching a 20-minute intro for now.
The infamous Majora's Mask first cycle.
Yeah, and with Glitchless, it's unfortunate first cycle lasts a bit longer because obviously no HMS or walking out of bounds in Clocktown, or I guess going into Termina Field.
Yeah, everybody loves cutscenes. However, it's a little bit more exciting now, I think, because players adopted to, farm rupees in a different manner. We're gonna see that later, that many players are not going for the stockpot in rupees anymore, right?
Yeah, I think Jess and Ragan will be going for the non-stockpot in rupee route.
Ah, I see. So
it's a little random, but it does save a little bit of time.
Yeah, there's a little bit of RNG to it. So maybe also not the best thing to go for in a race. So we will see.
Alright, do you think we want to define the rules of Glitchless to clear any error?
Glitchless.
Imagine defining that in a race.
Glitchless?
You just don't do glitches forehead. Easy.
Just don't cheat.
Yeah, no, but the bigger ones for this category, at least, if you guys aren't familiar with the rules, is some of the obvious ones. Obviously, no recoil flips, no long jumps. Those are the two ones people think are allowed in this category, but that is actually bug limit that allows that.
But dope. Long jumping is not a glitch.
Apparently.
Well, it's debatable. For sure.
Yeah, the rules are very debatable, but we won't go there.
Mm-hmm. Let's just say that there is a reason why they're banned, and let's not get into too much debate on a restream race.
Oh yes, and actually something about that's interesting here is Nan is actually running on the English version of Majora's Mask, whereas the rest of the runners are on Japanese. And that will have an interesting effect on his gameplay because there are big differences between the two versions. Mainly power crouch stab for the sake of glitchless. Truly Nan won't have access to that as it is patched on the English version, so you'll see the people running on Japanese being able to use that.
There's also some other slight differences, like Deku Palace and Pirate's Fortress as well.
Yeah, does English even have any advantages in this category? Or is it just
Jess is not going for RNG rupees, looks like.
Yeah, I think recently Enop made his own rupee route for this, and it seems to prove better than just getting the intro bush rupees. It's more
Really?
consistent from what I've heard.
Yeah, there are actually a lot of single rupees that you can collect, and you have the endgame time to get those. Like there are quite a lot of rupees that many people are not aware of. Like when you shoot the clock tower clock, 3 rupees fall out and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was a
and
recent finding, wasn't it?
yeah,
I think
I mean, I
Ragan
guess
found
that
that.
wasn't unknown. I guess it wasn't an unknown, but it was not widely known information.
Yeah, it wasn't known in the speedrunning community until
Yeah.
recently. Pretty sure Ragan found it during a 100% run, I think a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Reagan's getting rupees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ragan's opting to do the intro rupees. It seems like
He
he
got
got
17.
fairly decent RNG.
Yeah, how many do you need?
So when you're leaving
From-
intro, you want to have at the minimum 17 with this rupee route. And he got 17 exactly.
All right.
You used to want 20, but then we found the 3 rupees at the clock tower, so we just need 17.
It's a little bit unfortunate that Dragon's timer is now so delayed.
Yeah, he's like a minute behind.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there.
I think he reset to start his own timer, but
Yeah.
pretty much in sync, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, after Lullaby Skip, hopefully it's in sync.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Forehead.
I think Ragan will be the only one going for Lullaby Skip, and I don't know if I don't know is getting restreamed later, but I think he does it too. Other than that, you'll see the pre-Lullaby Skip route for the rest of the runners. At least you guys get to get a glimpse of how much faster this category is after the recent rule changes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, let's define Lullaby Skip. Just a little bit. I won't touch into it too hard, but basically what we're going to do is we're going to be a rebel and fight the wind going into Snowhead as Goron.
But isn't that a glitch?
That is not a
Okay,
glitch.
no. Yeah, I'm not going to start again.
Yes. Right now, if it's allowed, it's what the community decided on, that it isn't a glitch,
Yeah.
and
It's not considered a glitch, let's put it that way.
yeah, considered. People have different opinions on everything about this game.
So
Which is
first,
okay.
the trick here. People are going for the lower flower here because optimally that saves half a second.
Yeah, it saves half a second, but if you can line up a backwalk towards the door, it actually saves 3/4 of a second. But no one does that.
Oh, really?
It's hard and stupid. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Sounds like a TAS strat.
Yeah, that would mostly be a task strat.
So
Yeah,
the
I
most
wasn't
recent
looking. Did
the
they get
most
the,
recent big rule changes besides Lullaby Skip are we don't allow any kind of cutscene skip, and we define a cutscene skip as triggering a load during a cutscene. So, for example, voiding out during a cutscene counts as a cutscene skip. There's also when you're in the excuse me, I cannot talk. Wow. During the elegy segment at Icona Castle, you can put down the powder keg and blow it up while you're standing on it and fall into the loading zone. That counts as a cutscene skip. We don't allow that anymore. That's one of the examples. And then there's also a big octo skip coming up in a little bit. That's also almost 2 minutes worth of time save based off the versus riding the boat.
Yeah, and that's also a recent trick. Lullaby Skip has been known for years, but it just never was allowed because of the rules in Glitchless. But the Octo Skip, people only thought it was possible with either the Return A glitch, where you can like see up Deku Hop around the Octo, or do the long jump. Both of those are banned by the rules. But recently, you can actually go on the lily pad and with I'm not too sure how it works, but it has a certain movement cycle, and you basically want it to be as close to the left side of the octo as possible, so you can jump up there as human.
Yeah, the idea
so
there.
Short answer is it's a very precise jump.
Yeah.
And you will see it later.
It's not too precise, but it is. It's just awkward to get used to, really, because you have to make sure you're at the right position on the lily pad, and then you're using the roll invincibility to go past the octo, and just have just enough time to grab the ledge and put on Deku. We'll go into more detail about that later when we get to it.
Yeah, I was actually trying that a little bit on N64, and I can tell you it's just awful on N64.
Yeah, first things first is any first cycle, we want to make it Night 3, because our only goal is getting our Ocarina back, so that's what you're going to see everyone doing.
The fastest way to do that is, first of all, go to Grand Mod and turn it day 3, and then they go visit the Scarecrow to turn it to night.
Yeah, both of her stories advance to the next day at 8 o'clock in the morning exactly. And then Scarecrow will just make it 6 p.m. And then we will see the rupee routes come into play here for buying the bomb bag, which will be important for pretty much the whole run, but mostly at the beginning to get Sonata.
Jess came really close to activating that Deku scrub.
Yeah. So did Vidya.
Yeah. A little bit about text in this game. So if you'll notice how fast Grandma's text went by compared to the text that was earlier in the game. So we have the regular slow text, which appears one character at a time. And then you have the quick text, which if you press the B button, it will all fill out at once. That's called the quick text. You can use that to go really fast through a bunch of the different text boxes like Grandma, and there's a couple others later on. After the first cycle, most everything is quick text after that.
Yeah, there are a few examples of some text in the game where you can press the B button to advance the quick text, but mashing the A button will actually make it go quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for a few special occasion text boxes.
Yeah, the funny thing with quick text is that if you press the B button to advance it all, at once, but if you frame perfectly mash the B button, it will infinitely delay the text. So what you want to do is you press the B button to activate the quick text and then mash the A button. That's the most optimal way to mash text in this game.
So I guess Regan's getting the rupee here in the shop, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of the part of the rupee route he's using.
Yeah, it's technically a heart, I think, but if you have full health, then every heart transforms into a green rupee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you could see Vidya got the stockpot in rupees, which is pretty much the easiest way of doing the rupee route here, but it does cost some time, because actually when you're opening doors and have a text box open, your in-game time pauses, and we want the in-game time to keep passing continuously as long as we can without any interruptions.
Yeah, exactly. So we have more than enough time that we just need to wait out, and in the meantime we can use that time to, for example, farm rupees.
To answer Druck's question, no, we do not hover in Glitchless, because that is a big gamer glitch, and we actually do buy chews later in the run, but they will be for some purposes that you probably didn't think of in your casual playthrough. They have some pretty interesting uses in Glitchless.
And this rupee route is so exciting.
Yes, quite indeed.
It does make first cycle ever so slightly more interesting, at the very least.
Yeah, that is honestly, if you have played first cycle, yeah, you will know the excitement that we feel right now.
Looks like Dragon's actually short 1 rupee, so he's gonna have to do an extra farm. He must have missed one of the Keaton Bush rupees.
And yeah, I think that's still better than getting the chest, right?
Probably about even, yeah.
I actually don't know,
Yeah.
Druk. I don't know if those are permanent flags or if they're reset by loading zones.
I would think that's cycle rupees, once per cycle.
Yeah, maybe. I could see that. Seems
like the one in
Jesus
the shop
close.
is also once per cycle.
Yeah.
So, do we see some ledge wiggles? Ah, Dragon. Blowing up the balloon as always.
Yeah.
It's technically a cutscene skip what he does here. I mean, it doesn't benefit him, but
It doesn't lose time either.
Yeah, actually, on at least on N64, it causes some lag. So I'm not sure about not losing time.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that, but
so he was still doing that on N64, and I was pointing out to him he should not do that, and he was like, "Dude, there are more important things than time save."
yeah, it seems like Jess is the first one to make the clock tower.
Nobody's going for ledge wiggle. I'm very disappointed. This is the best thing about the glitchless category, that you have so much time to waste to just wait out, and then you can do some little thing at the clock tower where you just wiggle around, and it's just funny.
Yeah, and sometimes people do the clock tower door clip and just go out of bounds and then go back in by going under the water.
Oh, Regan is doing it. Yeah.
We completely glossed over the fact that we skipped the moons tier in this run, by the way.
Yeah, so how does that come?
So, yes, skipping the moons tier, that is very simple. We do a trick called a gainer or a twisted backflip. A gainer is when you're targeting a wall and you start a backflip and you release target and you target within the next 2 frames, I believe, and then that will make Link, instead of going just back, like a backflip should, it makes Link go actually up. And you can grab higher ledges. And then with the twisted backflip, you basically just do a backflip, and then I think within the next 2 frames you hold left or a certain direction of the ledge you want to grab. And at the peak of Link's backflip, I think that'll make him grab the ledge.
Yeah, so gainers are 2 frames if you're in a corner. If you're not in a corner, it's 1 frame.
Yeah.
So yeah, for now, people are just getting the ocarina back and learning Song of Time, and then returning to the first day with Song of Time. And then we get Deku Mask, return to being human, and then yeah, we're good to go to actually start the speedrun.
Yeah, once we get done with the whole song healing part and we become human again, is when things will pick up for a brief moment before we go back to a cutscene. But then after that, it's pretty fast.
Yeah, once we get past this, about the 26, 27 minute mark, that's when things will really start picking up.
And then right after we get our ocarina back, the quickest way to obviously get rid of all the cutscenes is to play Song of Time and reset your console. If you aren't aware, when you play Song of Time, the instance you press yes on that text box, your game saves immediately, so you can just reset your console, and that'll skip the whole flashback scene of everything that's happened up to this point.
It's a pretty big time save. It's about 50 seconds, I believe.
Yeah. However, that is banned in Bug Limit. You cannot reset the console at all.
It used to not be allowed in this category a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's based on old rules when
that was the single segment runs.
Yeah, when people were still trying to differentiate single segment from segmented runs.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, funny thing, people always say, as soon as you press yes, you can reset. But on N64, I would be a little bit more careful about that. If you do a hard reset, half a second after you press yes, it can still happen that your file gets messed up and deleted.
So it's
yeah. I just like to point out those N64 specific things because this game is very unpopular to be played on N64. Ironically, since it's actually an N64 game. But yeah, the Wii Virtual Console is just way faster. Doesn't have as much lag.
Fun little fact about this game, pressing C up will actually advance text along with the A and the B buttons.
Yeah, and this is why you should use the N64 controller, because that has a C up button. Unpopular opinion. No, I think no player on screen actually uses N64 controller, right? I think everybody uses the GameCube controller.
Yeah.
I'm a very rare case.
Unpopular opinion, the classic controller Pro is the best controller.
Oh,
no,
well,
sooner.
I don't know about that. I mean, maybe. I've never used that.
I think with Total Control Ace Druck, the N64 controller has uses for those inputs. But outside of in an actual speedrun, no, I don't think they.
You can on N64 move the menu. You can turn the pages left and right with D-pad left and right.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean it's not useful, but it works. And actually, that does not work in Ocarina of Time. So that's weird, actually.
Maybe they're like, dang, dude, we never found a use for this D-pad.
Yeah.
We already have 2 buttons assigned to turning pages. Let's just add 2 more for no reason.
Oh, and then of course debug menu.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you use glitches to access the debug menu, then you can navigate that with the D-pad.
Yes.
Which the Wii Virtual Console doesn't actually map the D-pad correctly. Every button on the D-pad corresponds to the L button. So even if you were able to open the debug menu on the Wii Virtual Console, you really
how do you toggle maps on Wii actually?
You press D-pad in any direction.
Oh yeah. Yes, of course. That's L. Yeah, I'm stupid.
Yeah, first things first, we're going to hit our first owl statue in Clocktown.
It's funny, whenever I do Glitchless or accessible render or anything, I always forget to hit this owl. Because I'm not used to it at all. When
it's
only
easy to
running
forget, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I
think
never
we will
ran
only be hitting like 4
seriously.
owls, I believe.
4 or 5.
4 or 5, because there's Clocktown, Milk Road, Great Bay, and Stone Tower, so I think that's 4.
Stone Tower,
but yeah.
Oh yeah, that one too. That's
And
right.
Mountain Village, yeah.
6.
So now people are going for an RNG bomb drop.
Jess gets it.
So just got one.
Yeah, every patch of bushes in this game, and I think Skulltulas have a 1 in 16 chance of dropping bombs.
Yeah, so
getting
the
first try
bush,
is nice.
the grass in Termina Field at least. In Swamp, for
Yeah.
example, the grass is a little bit different.
Yeah, no bombs for Vidya there, unfortunately.
Yeah, you got a second try
though,
though.
that's not bad. Wait, did you get 2 bomb drops? Oh, it's a blue rupee, never mind. Yeah.
So yeah, this is why people bought the bomb back in first cycle, because if you get okay RNG, it's way faster to just get one bomb drop now. Even though you lose all the bombs when you go back in time, it's still way faster.
Yeah, because if
As
you
long as
wanted
you
to
don't
buy
get-
the bomb bag in this cycle, you'd have to use the bank and deposit the rupees, or you'd have to
Yeah.
go get these clock down rupees, and it's just way too
Yeah,
slow.
exactly.
Yeah, and Reagan
So
also
now-
got first try. I think
Now
Man
comes
too.
the next cutscene. We haven't had a cutscene in quite a while.
Dude, didn't you guys miss cutscenes? Well, here's one.
Yeah, there was way too much gameplay the last minute.
I heard you like cutscenes, so I put some cutscenes in this game for you.
Dude, no way.
Oh, you wanna know something funny about rain in Termina Field? So usually on day 2, it's raining, right? But
Mhm.
in Termina Field it doesn't, because I assume the devs probably realized that it's way too laggy in Termina Field. Termina Field is way too big if it's raining. It's super laggy, but it's still raining in first cycle. If you go in, if you don't have anything in the ocarina slot, or if it's first cycle, it's still raining in Termina Field. So they did forget about that.
Yeah, day 2
That's
clock
pretty
down when
cool.
it rains is horribly laggy.
Yeah. Actually, Swamp is a decently big area, and even on Wii it can lag quite a bit on day 2 when it's raining.
Imagine
So
day 2 clock
I-
town on GameCube.
Oh god, no.
Oh god, oh god. But yeah, even on Wii, it's still lagging there. So I very much understand why they removed the rain in Termina Field.
Yeah, so our next goal is just to be getting a red potion from the witch. In Jess's instance, he's going to use that to get the pictograph box to ride the boat. The pictograph box does not have any use in this run because it only gets you a heart piece. So its only use is to just get you to Deku Palace. But in Ragan's case, for example, he's going to get the witch bottle to just have a bottle for the Zora egg collection later to access Great Bay. So he will not be riding the boat, which is the big time save because riding the boat's really slow. That's Octo Skip.
Yeah, so if you only play rando, usually you might think that the boat ride is actually not that slow, because in rando the boat is sped up very, very much. But in vanilla, it's actually incredibly slow. It's incredibly slow.
Yeah, the base speed is definitely really slow compared to rando.
So yeah, maybe somebody's going for the boat.
Yeah, Jess is going for the boat, looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think Jess didn't quite adopt to all the new strats. He just recently picked up the category again, I think.
Yeah. Which I don't blame him for. The route he's running is still really cool.
Yeah. I mean, this is the consistent route.
Yeah. If you're trying to go for world
Interesting.
record, though, lullaby skip and octo skip are needed.
It's
Which, by
notable
the
that
way-
Ragan and Vidya have already inverted, which is going to be very
Ah.
important. Jess has not done that yet, which I'm slightly concerned.
Yeah, just speaking of world record, it was actually beaten yesterday by Enop.
239.11, I
who I
believe.
never thought would ever run Glitchless.
Yeah, not running Glitchless is definitely interesting, but I'm kind of glad he's expanding his palette. And
yeah. Couldn't be any percent and Hundo forever.
Does someone want to explain why we are inverting our in-game time?
I can do that. So this game, in this category rather, there are two big in-game time events we want to keep an eye on. The first one is we need to get to the ranch before night 1 because we need to get Epona's Song. And Epona's Song is only available on day 1. And then later on, we're also going to be going for the Aliens minigame, which happens at 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. on the night of the first day. So we need to keep an eye out for both of those as well.
Yeah, aliens arrive at the ranch at 2:30 in the morning, and then they win at 3:49.
So here comes Big Octoskip by... who's that?
Vidya is attempting Octoskip right now.
Vidya, yeah.
Uses some buffering strats here, and he misses. Oof.
Unfortunate.
I think his
Meanwhile,
position was a little bit off.
Yeah. Jess is taking the boat.
Dragon messed up a little bit too. Can't you just go faster to skip Inverted Song of Time? Well, the thing about that is... if we could, we would.
Yes. We just have so much we need to do before then, because basically what we're going to be doing up to Epona's Song is we're going to be getting the Bow and Woodfall and the boss key. We're also going to be making our way up to Mountain Village, and we're going to be getting Lens of Truth for Goron Mask, and then we'll be doing all of Snowhead Temple and Goron Race before we go to the ranch.
So, Regan just got it. Also worth noting, Julian did not invert, and I guess he's doing an alternative route.
Yeah, he's probably doing the 3-cycle route.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's an easier route runners can choose, where I believe after Goron Mask they Song of Time.
It's right after Lens of Truth, actually, I believe.
Oh yeah, after Lens. And then that makes in-game time a lot easier, and I don't think you have to invert for that, but it is still slow to do that route.
So Jess and Dragon are in Deku Palace now and doing a damage boost to skip some of the guards.
Yeah, that's why we picked up the bomb bag, because we can do damage boosts in Palace, which speeds it up exponentially. You don't have to go get the beans. We actually do get the beans for the well later, but they're not really used as you would to get to Sonata and Palace, because normally you have to plant the beans and go through the outside, do it that way. But damage boosts definitely help speed up Palace a lot.
Yeah, I think optimally you want to set up a death warp here, but it doesn't really matter so much, right? You can also be caught by the guards.
Yeah, I think there's an optimal Deku Palace route where it saves like a few frames to do Sonata first and then get the beans.
Yeah. So the runners here are doing a gainer to get up to the other grotto, and that sends you to the shortcut grotto to get to the other side of the palace. If you only played the English version or European version of this game, you might not be familiar with this layout of Deku Palace. That's because it was actually changed quite a bit after the Japanese version. So on Japanese we still have these grottos in different places and a shortcut to get to the other side.
Oh, it's 1 to 3 seconds? Yeah, I had no idea.
I was told 3, so 3 or 4, but...
And Nvidia is still stuck at Octoskip, unfortunately. The funny thing about this damage boosting in Deku Palace, in rando or in the accessible rando, that's actually not allowed. But there's a funny alternative strat with a ground jump. You can ground jump and then do a jump slash to get up on the thing. Which is pretty bizarre, because when would that ever be useful in speedrunning? Which category bans damage boosting but allows ground jumping?
Wait, is Vidya soft locked right now?
Oh?
He might be, actually.
Oh.
Can you move to the lily pad, maybe?
Oh.
I don't see why you... Oh, you're not?
Oh, can you still get up there?
Yeah, this just proves how hard octave skip is and why not many... It's hard to do it successfully in a run.
I've never seen that before, actually. Interesting.
Yeah, what happened is his position was set too close to the ledge, so he's consistently falling. Yeah, it seems like we'll be getting a different stream to take Vidya's spot.
It's notable that Nan did not go get magic beans, not only because he's on English, but also because he's going to be doing the 3-cycle route. So if he got beans now, it would just be a waste of time, since he would lose them with Song of Time.
But did he get at least one? Because you need one to buy them later, don't you?
No, he's going to get them later. After the Aliens minigame, he's going to come back to Woodfall 2 and then get them after Woodfall 2.
Oh yeah, so yeah, actually that makes sense, yeah. I've only done very, very casual runs of this category, and always just later bought them from the Deku, where at the Swamp Owl area.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and isn't there used to be a thing where you could pull Ocarina as soon as you landed on the middle part of the platform to raise Woodfall, and you could delay the text until it was up during Woodfall. Is that banned now? Yes,
that is banned. It counts as a cutscene delay.
I mean, as long as you don't soar away, I think it doesn't benefit you.
It does, because it activates the text box during the cutscene and saves about a second.
Ah, yeah, I
usually
see.
you have to clear it before you can play the song, so it saves about like a second.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was thinking of something different. So in glitch categories, you can play Sonata and then pause before the temple is rising, and then soar away.
Yeah,
and
that's banned because you're skipping the cutscene entirely.
Yeah, that would obviously be banned. And it would also not be beneficial in this route, because you need to go to Woodward Temple.
I think actually soaring to the owl would still would save a little bit of time if you were able to get that cutscene.
Oh yeah, you can. I don't know. Well, you can just resoar to where you just are.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll see Jess picking up, you might have saw, I don't know, do it earlier, but he picked up sticks and nuts, and the stick is going to be important because with power crouch stab, the game stores the last attack you did, and when you crouch stab, it'll do the damage of that last attack, so therefore a Deku stick jump slash will be used, and then you can just crouch stab to do the Deku stick damage, which I think is 2?
4.
4? Yeah, it's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deku stick is kind of powerful, kind of like Ocarina of Time.
There's a reminder that Nan is on English, so he won't be able to use power crouch stab.
Yes. And the reason why he picked up nuts is those are going to be useful for the wart fight later. We'll talk about that when we get there, but
we also need Deku nuts for the well.
Yeah, that is true. We need 10 for the well, so
yeah.
we're getting another
for
drop
now,
later.
For now, people are just in Woodfall Temple. First thing you do is go to the room to the right, get a small key, then go to the room to the left. And go upstairs.
Yeah, normally if you've seen a glitch playthrough, you usually see hookshot being used in Woodfall, and obviously that's really broken. Hookshot in Woodfall and Snowhead just makes the temples look like nothing, but obviously since this is glitchless, and I think getting hookshot first is actually slow, I believe.
You can't get it before Woodfall, but getting it before Snowhead is indeed a little bit slower.
Yeah, because you have no way to get into Great Bay right now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It used to be about equal before we found out that getting the boss key, the Woodfall boss key earlier was faster. And the thing with the hookshot early route is that it has to do a bunch of other stuff to fill the in-game time for aliens, which one of those was doing Woodfall, the second Woodfall segment. But since that is slower, or excuse me, it's quicker now, we don't have enough time to use up, so it ends up being slower.
So, I don't know, just did a pretty huge skip there. Skipped one room with a jump slash right into the hole, and then got a jump slash recoil, and landed on the floor where he wanted to. Normally you would need to fly a Deku through the room, and that's much, much slower. So that saves quite a lot of time, that jump slash there. And also, interestingly, people used to do that a little bit differently, because you can do an anti-gravity glitch there, which can or cannot be considered a glitch. So the new rules now say that it is a glitch, so it's banned now. So it's a little bit harder, but it's still possible without anti-gravity.
Yeah, it's not that much more difficult. It just saves all the Deku flying you have to do to get to the other side where the stairs are.
Ah, yeah, I see.
Yeah, and then you'll see Jess and I don't know intentionally taking damage here because they're gonna set up a death warp after they get the boss key.
But why would you die intentionally?
Because dying and after getting the boss key, there's a little thing. Well, first of all, if you want to get back to the front of the temple without dying, your best option is soaring. But that requires playing the song in the cutscene, so that's not really that fast. But with dying, you always respawn at the beginning of the temple, and you can make it even faster. Is after you pick up an item, there's a thing that can happen where if you die immediately after, you can skip the little like song it plays after you die, like the doo 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 doo. And I think that saves a few seconds.
Yeah, it's the important part is making sure that you die while the sound is still playing, and that will cancel the little death cutscene, make it a lot shorter. And that's the main reason why getting this boss key earlier is faster than coming back and getting it later.
Yeah, because when they come back later, they can just immediately go to Dola. Says they'll have hookshot and fire arrows, which will speed up this temple a lot. Yeah,
and also the one big reason why you don't want to beat this temple now, even though you could, is if you beat this temple first, there will be an extra cutscene, the Tattled Excuse cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it all just happens to work out that coming back here is faster. And doing temples out of order is allowed, obviously.
Yeah, and there's nothing casually stopping you from getting the bow and then going straight to Snowhead.
Yeah,
so.
devs knew that you can do that. You can do it in your casual playthrough. So the way this game is made is that you just need to get the item from every dungeon, and then you can access the next area. You don't necessarily need to beat the dungeon.
Now that we have our bow, we can go up to the Mountain Village area, and we can get the Lens of Truth, Goron Mask, and Lullaby. Which, of course, Ragan and looks like I don't know will be going for Lullaby skip. The other two likely will not.
Yeah, so what Ragan and I don't know are going to do is they're going to... is right after getting Goron Mask... I believe they just go... do they just go straight to Snowhead?
Yeah, just straight to Snowhead after Goron Mask.
Yeah. Whereas Jess and Truly Nan, they're going to do the whole unfreezing of the Goron Elder to learn the Lullaby intro, and then get the Lullaby and enter the temple that way.
Skipping the Lullaby saves about 4 minutes optimally, mostly due to skipping cutscenes, but it's very difficult, and it's unlikely they'll get that full 4 minutes of time save.
Yeah, it's very difficult, and it's RNG based.
The first part's mostly RNG based, but
Yeah.
after that it's more skill.
So yeah, not a whole lot going on. We're just gonna be doing simple movement to the Lens Cave.
Why are they running backwards all the time?
Because backwalk speed is faster than walking forward. And fun fact, Deku flying is slower than human walking forward.
Also fun fact, Deku is walking faster than human.
Yeah.
Because all the transformation masks have the same movement speed as Adult Link in Ocarina of Time. Except Fierstudy, of course. I think Fierstudy's backwalking speed is quite close to Goron rolling,
Yeah,
actually.
it's a lot faster.
Yeah, once they get Goron Mask, the movement will be a whole lot more... it'll be a lot better for traversing Termina.
How are they walking on the air?
Well, they have memorized where the ice platforms are because they are set up different on each day, but they always stay consistent, so the runners can just memorize where they are. You don't need Lens or the Owl to cross that. I guess you don't need the Owl because you can't really get Lens if you don't know where they are.
And of course, the fastest way to get back to the mountain village after getting Lens is to soar back there.
And a lot of people wonder why we don't go out of our way to get Bunny Hood, and that's just because Goron Mask just is so OP. Because we're not really human for a lot of it, so Goron Mask is just the best option.
And Bunny Hood is like really out of the way as well.
I was once on Reddit, and there was one person seriously asking, "Hey, I want to do a glitchless speedrun. Is it worth getting the Bunny Hood?" And yeah, I don't quite remember what the answers were, but
fun fact about Bunny Hood: if you hold the target button, you lose your speed increase.
Yeah, so backwalking or holding target will not really matter. Yeah, it's only really useful in categories like 100% because sometimes we need to stay human for long periods, and since we need to get we need to get Bunny Hood as part of the 100% completion, it just works out that using it in some places is faster. But as for Glitchless, it is just too out of the way and just does not save any time.
Usually in dungeons or in the spider house, for example, where you just run around as human all the time. And don't walk straight patterns for a while.
Yeah, Bunny Hood speed is the same as backwalking speed. It's a little more convenient in some other categories because you have that speed while walking forward, so you can control where you're going instead of just a straight line.
And as I just said, transformation masks walk faster, so backwalking as any transformation is already faster than Bunny Hood.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Goron goes super, super fast. Just more difficult to control, but once you learn it, it's like you can't go back.
Goron was actually once my least favorite mask because I was so bad at rolling. I'm just in general so bad at racing games that I was also so bad at Goron rolling. But it's just a matter of practice.
Now what you're going to see now is Jess is going to put on Deku Mask and then Goron. A little interesting fact is if you put on a new transformation mask, like right after you acquire it, being human, it'll play that screaming cutscene and you can't skip it. But since you've already seen that on the Deku Mask, you can put on Deku Mask and then Goron, and then it just won't play that mini cutscene.
One little fact, Nan actually went and talked to the Goron baby earlier. This is a little bit safer, but it's slower. The others are going to talk to, Jess is going to talk to the Goron baby now instead of talking to him earlier.
Yeah. And then I don't know is going to be doing his first attempt at Lullaby Skip, so we'll see how this goes, and Ragan will soon be following.
One thing that is actually very important for Lullaby Skip in certain places is the fast Goron rolling. Because we are rolling in snow, normally the roll takes a little bit of time to let you roll fast. But if you wiggle the control stick a little bit forward, then neutral again, and then forward again, or something like that, then you can start rolling faster. Yeah,
we call that a quick roll. You basically get up to full speed instead of having to charge up the entire thing.
And that looks decent, maybe?
I think. I don't know, actually got up there.
It looks like I don't know got good wind.
So the way, the reason why he's not falling down there is he's slashing his sword. And while you're slashing your sword, you cannot fall down ledges. That's also, if you watch glitch categories where people get ISG, the infinite sword glitch, why people don't fall down with infinite sword glitch. But you don't need the glitch just to abuse that mechanic.
It looks like, I don't know, just went into the fairy fountain for extra safety.
Yeah, that looks very good. And Dragon failed, unfortunate.
Yeah, and going to the fairy fountain is safe because it resets your entrance point. So if you fall, you'll just start back at the fairy fountain instead of back at the bottom.
Dragon just re-entered the area to get new magic, because on the Japanese version you can only get the magic drop once. Even if you void, it will not be back. On the English version, actually, you can just void and then farm everything that's there again.
But fun fact, this sword slashing method does not work on English. If you tried this on English, you would fall every time.
Technically, I think, if you slash frame perfectly. I'm not sure. So it's
I did some testing, I believe. I'm pretty sure you can't do it at all.
Okay. English. Yeah.
There technically still is a way you can skip Lullaby on English, but it's really, really awful. Even worse than this.
Oh, Reagan's running out of magic. Is he up?
Nope, he's down.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, this just proves how hard this trick can be.
The RNG part of the trick is really getting up that first ramp, because you have to get a good wind cycle. Because you want the wind to start the second that you hit the ramp, so it's blowing while you're up on the ramp and then stops.
Looks very good for I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so from this point on, it'll just be avoiding the snowballs as he goes up the final ramp.
Hopefully that last one is nice, because if you're not careful, that last one can get you very easily.
Yeah.
Probably he's waiting here for that the third one to fall down, so he knows where it is, and so he doesn't get owned later. Jess is getting Lullaby.
And then he'll soon be entering Snowhead Temple. Seems like, I don't know, will be the first one to make it into Snowhead.
Mm-hmm.
And Snowhead, honestly, and Glitchless, I think it's pretty difficult because of some of the, we'll be doing things called Goron Damage Boost. We'll talk about them when we get to it, but, they're a tad bit precise in, like, I think in, like, 1 or 2 spots, but, overall, it's just kind of hard to have really good movement and play fast in Snowhead.
Looks like Ragan went to the fairy fountain for safety as well.
I think we skip about half of Snowhead almost with the tricks.
Almost half. There's a couple of rooms we skipped.
Compared. Yeah, well, compared to what casuals do normally, it's quite a lot.
Yeah, we're going to be skipping a small key, and then we're not casually. You're supposed to raise the platform in the middle of the temple and punch out all the blocks, but we're not going to be doing that.
Yeah, I think even the very first speedrun ever that TSA already did that trick, so it's a very old trick. Oh,
Dragon
voiding. That's very unfortunate. Yeah, so if you have the right angle and fall there, it can happen that the wind just...
I didn't know that could happen.
...whips you. Yeah.
I've had that happen a couple of times to me before when I've tried this trick.
So, disqualified, I guess.
I mean, he technically already did a cutscene skip earlier, so...
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Silly Ragan doing glitches in a glitchless speedrun.
God, when I did my glitchless race a while ago, my run was so bad I had a day reset.
Oh wow!
And also you did Marco clip. I remember that.
Yeah, I did that.
When nobody was looking, but I saw it.
My run was already owned at that point, so I didn't care.
So I didn't know I was doing the puzzle skip here, where you can go on damage boost up here and completely skip doing this room. He also skipped a small key earlier, so in the compass room, what you're supposed to do is get that key and then go around a couple of rooms and go in the front of the compass room and then come back
jump here.
And get a small key later. But
also he skipped going to the other side and taking the ladder and things with a very precise Goron roll, where he uses the ramp to go 90 degrees in the corner.
And what I don't know just did there is he skipped the Wizrobe running around the room cutscene. There is, I believe, it's like 2 frames. It's pretty lenient, but basically what he does...
I think it's actually 1 frame, but the hitbox of punching
right.
or sword, that's several frames, I think.
Yeah, so basically the Wizrobe is trying to start a cutscene of him running around the room, and there's 1 frame where he's vulnerable, so runners will time their punch so their hitbox is in the Wizrobe's area where his hitbox will be when it becomes active. It'll hit him and it'll prevent him from starting that cutscene. And fun fact, if you try to do that on the Wizrobe in Secret Shrine, there could be a chance that he just you're basically stuck in the room because he freezes. I don't really know why that happens, but
that Wizrobe is special.
Yeah, Wizrobe will show up a lot during this run, unfortunately.
There was a new glitchless Hundo runner recently who was attempting that and didn't get it, and he was very sad he didn't get it. And then I told him about the softlock, and yeah, he was glad he didn't get it. Cool story, isn't it?
Majora's Mask. What a lovely video game.
Yes.
So yeah, the backup for that is always just go to the bottom, then put on Deku Mask and you void. And that just brings you back to your last entrance.
Yeah, if you ever fall on Snowhead, that's just the easiest way to get back where you were, to retry.
Yeah, imagine if we didn't have that backup, that would be so awful.
Yeah.
I would cry.
I
think I fell so many times during my race, I died and I spawned at the beginning of the temple.
Yeah. Yeah, dying is of course the worst here.
Looks like Nan did Song of Time after Lullaby instead of after Lands, which is fine. That maximizes the amount of in-game time you have.
Also, I think that we didn't mention the icicle room skip. So basically, we skip the whole puzzle with the icicles with just a gainer, or you don't even need a gainer. You can just do a precise jump.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Skug.
And then what I don't know did twice is you just throw a bomb in a specific spot and that blows up the first snowball, so you can do a kind of precise jump down there and jump slash in. That just skips going around and doing it the normal way. But now time for Goat, our first boss fight.
Yeah, Goat is such an exciting boss. You might remember it from the
and we're gonna have so much fun, dude.
That's so cool. Mm-hmm.
We're actually joking. If you haven't seen Goat fight before, we're basically gonna stun lock it with arrows by standing in a specific spot, because when you're a certain distance away, Goat kind of waits for you, and then he starts charging you. But with this, we can keep him in this spot, and then we'll shoot him with arrows, and then we'll side hop out to the right and back to the left to reset that timer on when he's gonna shoot lightning and charge us. So basically we can keep him in that same spot, and then we'll just time a final arrow so he starts running at us, and then he'll spawn right next to us, which is really convenient. It makes for an easy fight.
And that was a clean fight.
Yeah, and there's a thing that can happen where stalagmite perfectly falls in your way of where Goat is, and that just ruins the whole fight.
Yeah.
That's completely random. Nothing you can do really, except for just
basically
like
every time.
Yeah.
So for me, it's 50% messing up and 50% getting bad RNG. So
get good.
Yeah, I wish I could get good. Oh. So that's first dungeon down for, I don't know, and it might look a little bit weird that it's the second cutscene playing now, but it's always playing this cutscene where you learn Oath to Order.
Yeah, whatever boss you kill first, if you haven't defeated the others, or I guess if you haven't learned Oath, I think whatever boss you kill will always give you this cutscene. And then this is the longest one out of all the giant cutscenes. The next few ones will be rather quick.
I think Great Bay is really quick too, because there's like nothing after the giant cutscene.
Because usually there's like the whole cutscene of like the land you just cleared going back to normal. Like for instance in Snowhead you'll see all the ice melting and the snow going away. But in Great Bay, the only thing that really happens is the fish come back to the waters according to the manga. Yes, I have read that and I own it.
I own it as well.
I also have it.
I have the entire box set of like Phantom Hourglass and everything in it.
Oh man. I just have the 2 Ocarina of Time ones in the MM1.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
Regan did a very interesting backup there that I didn't know. So he just dropped a bomb and then basically backwalked down there and then did a jump slash into the little hallway thing. But man, the manga of MM was actually so bad.
I don't think it was the best. I like the artwork, but the actual story was all over the place.
Yeah, the whole game into one short manga doesn't make sense actually. So obviously it's bad. The Ocarina of Time one was at least 2 mangas.
Yeah.
I think my favorite of it was the Link to the Past manga. That was I remember liking that one the most.
Read that. Actually, did I read that? I don't remember.
Either that one or one of the Oracle ones. The Oracles are really good too.
So, we're actually doing some stuff here in Spring Mountain Village. Or not Mountain Village, but in the Snow area.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be heading straight to Twin Islands to do the infamous Goron race where...
Well, actually, first we're doing Powder Keg.
yeah, Powder Keg and then Goron race. I got ahead of myself. But yeah, we'll be making our way to Goron Village to pick up the powder keg the big Goron will offer us, and then we'll bring it over there and we'll explode the rock covering the Goron racetrack.
But why are we doing the Goron race?
We're doing the Goron race because that gives us a bottle with gold dust in it, and I believe we actually sell the gold dust to one buy choose, and it also counts as a bottle for the Zora egg later.
Yep.
It's another bottle.
Yeah, we need a bottle for a Zora egg and also for the stuff in the beneath the well as well.
Yeah.
The main thing is the bottle. The gold dust, like if the gold dust itself is not important, it's just convenient.
Yeah, it's just a convenient. It's one of the faster bottles to get, whereas the beavers that is really slow. Goron race takes about like a minute, and beavers will probably take around like almost 2 minutes.
I think Goron race is more like a minute and a half, but yeah.
Yeah.
How much would Cafe Quest bottle take?
Oh gosh, Cafe Quest bottle? Really?
I mean, just getting the bottle, is that slow? If you don't go for Cupboard's Mask?
Well, you still got a bunch of cutscenes to view.
Yeah, maybe.
And you gotta figure out Midnight Meeting and all that, and go back to town and...
Yeah, maybe I'm too spoiled from glitched categories, because in glitched categories it's just clip into the house, get Cafe
There's also
that.
The bottle's only able to get on third day too, so you have to
well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that wouldn't work out for this category.
Similar to how Dampe can only be done on night 3.
Or day 3. But wait, no, that requires glitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a funny meme actually in glitch categories, because you can see Dampe on day 3 wandering around, and then you clip into the grave, and he's inside the grave, so we say that's his German brother, Boris.
Oh, yeah.
Because in German his name is Boris.
Yeah, that's his name on the PAL version, right?
No, in German, pal. In French it's, I think, Igor. And Spanish is, I don't remember. But he has funny names in other languages.
Can't believe they didn't name him Dampe in every language. What a travesty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, the really scary part about Goron Race is if you're going uphill and a Goron hits you while you have spikes, you'll actually lose your spikes. I don't really know the reason.
Dragon always says don't get it when you run down slopes.
Yeah, going up and down any kind of slope will ruin your spikes, and that sucks because you have to charge them again, and you end up behind the rest of the Gorons and you have to catch up.
Getting hit in the air is also really bad too.
Yeah.
And the other thing about Goron Race is that the Gorons have a rubber banding AI. So if they're further behind you, they'll speed up, and if they're way ahead of you, they'll slow down.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. You can lose races with a better time than you sometimes win them.
Yeah, if you actually have the map you buy from Tingle, if you pull up the map during the race, you can see the other Gorons. They'll just speed up at insane paces, and that just shows you how bad the rubber banding system is in this game. It seems like I don't know how to good race.
Good. I would rather say it's pretty well made from a developer perspective.
It's well made, but it sucks for the player.
I wouldn't say that. It makes it interesting. I mean, for the casual player, not for the speedrunner.
Well, yeah, but it's like, if they shouldn't be able to go faster than you are, then like, how is it fair that when they're all the way back there, they can just speed up like that?
Have you seen how the developer of the original version, who was responsible for the Goron race, was playing the Goron race on the 3DS version?
No, I didn't.
And he didn't even remember how the race works, and was like, do I need a mask for this race? Or how does this work? I'm not getting it. Because he needed like 10 tries.
remember this funny joke once that had to do with replacing all the Gorons with the grandma and having them all be like racing grandmas.
Oh, yeah, dude, that'd be funny.
Oh.
That's a ROM hack idea in case anyone's interested.
Huh.
Yeah, 2 good races so far.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we can get a 3rd good race from Reagan.
I mean, if I ever make a ROM hack, then only Blue Dog will win.
Blue Dog, best dog.
And now we're going to be entering the ranch and finally getting Epona's song, which will be used to access Great Bay and Ikana. However, you don't really need Epona to access Great Bay and Ikana. You can use those Goron boosts like we saw in Snowhead.
The only reason we need to get Epona's song is so we can get Garo Mask to get into Ikana Canyon.
In Bug Limit, you can actually now skip Epona because there's a new skip.
Really
that
precise
is just,
recoil flip, yeah.
You will use a damage boost to get up on the mountain, and then a very precise curved recoil flip that just curves around the mountain so you don't go out of bounds, because if you would go out of bounds, that would count as a glitch for a Bug Limit.
Yeah, Bug Limit's definition of out of bounds is slightly different.
I mean, you can really just walk into the void where you're standing for the recoil flip. So it's a very, very weird definition of out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what item value Epona's song has on the English version?
I don't.
105, and in hexadecimal that is 69.
Oh, fun.
Nice.
And is it the opposite way around for pendant, right?
Yes,
like
on
that.
Japanese. On Japanese, it's the pendant 69 hexadecimal.
Yeah.
I don't know, is doing
Just-
the
I need
archery now.
to mention that every time.
I've never seen someone do the opponent archery that way. Normally people go the other way around. That was interesting.
Isn't that your horse?
Isn't that your horse?
Fun fact
second
that
time.
cutscene is slightly different in the English version. If you'll watch Nan's screen when he gets there, there's going to be like an extra longer cutscene than the Japanese version.
Yeah.
And the cow doesn't have a nose ring.
Yep. It's just so interesting how much they changed the game between the 2 versions. That's why we consider JP like a beta version almost.
Yeah, they hurried up very much to just release that version.
If you'll notice, I Don't Know has already uninverted, and that's going to be for the aliens segment later, because they want to time getting to aliens in just the right
whereas Reagan's in-game time is pretty late, so I mean, you should still make it. He just needs to start the Gorman brother race.
Yeah, what he's probably going to end up doing is I think he's going to soar after getting... Yep, he's equipping Ocarina. Yeah, so what he's going to do is he's going to soar to the Owl right after he gets Epona's here. Normally it's faster to ride Epona down there, but since his in-game time is a little tight, soaring doesn't waste much in-game time.
In-game time does not run during the Epona archery, does it?
No, it does not.
Yeah. Does it also not during the Gorman brother race?
No,
Nope.
it doesn't. Neither.
Yeah. Then you should still do it without soaring. Maybe I'm wrong here. Probably
It's
I'm
just
wrong.
a little safer to just do the soar.
Yeah, it's very, very Monka-esque.
It's definitely not really worth losing a run over.
Definitely not. It's like I think I timed it, and it's like 5 seconds, maybe 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, then for a race, better don't do that.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He just needs to do like the 3 or 4 rolls to make it into the racetrack, and he'll be fine.
The biggest time loss for soaring there is that you have to call Epona with Epona's song.
Yeah.
If you didn't have to do that, then it would be faster to soar.
Wait, what did we say earlier? Wait, no, the pendant is item value 69 in decimal on Japanese. And you know what on Japanese is item value 69 in hexadecimal?
What item
The
is it?
Goron drums. It's a beta item that was not used, or probably alpha item or whatever. So if you play Epona's song is Goron, you get the double 69.
Double nice.
Man,
All
I'm
we're
so
going to be
glad I'm
doing now
commentating.
is, I don't know, is going to be hitting, or he's going to be hitting Zora Mask first, and then he's going to be hitting the Great Bay Owl statue, and then getting our first Zora egg in the hook shot, and then he's actually going to return back to Clock Town and do some other things. But it's actually faster to get a Zora egg now and deposit it later, because we don't have enough. We don't have 4 bottles to get the 4 eggs in Pirate's Fortress, so it'll just make the next Pirate's Fortress trip easier.
And we're going to be coming back
stupid thing
after we did Aliens minigaming and get the 3rd bottle.
Yeah, a little bit stupid on the Japanese version is the Zora pushing here. You cannot grab Zora Mikao on the Japanese version.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
just
pretty
swim into him and it
annoying.
pushes him, whereas on English they changed it where you have to hold the A button and grab him.
Very, very good change. That's so awful, the pushing on Japanese.
100%, we just warp into the cutscene. Who needs to push Macau anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah, Reagan's totally fine right now. His in-game time is going to be a little not how he wants it to be for Aliens, but fixing it is not really a big deal. It's just a little slow.
Who likes
Can I see
cutscenes?
that? Oh yes, me.
Special
Shoutouts to... No.
God. He always plays the
Yeah,
piano
is
during
it?
this
I think
cutscene.
it's an unwritten rule that you always fail the stuff that you just practiced. Every time.
Yes, I can relate.
Everybody.
It's always the easy stuff that or the stuff you practice that you fail and you nail the hard tricks first try.
Yeah, every single time.
The solution is never practice, exactly. Can't fail stuff you practice if you don't practice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, running is practice.
But is it really?
No, seriously, I mean... yesterday I did a run of ADR and I failed Lullaby Skip for a very weird, stupid reason, and I thought to myself, oh, you know what? If I wouldn't have failed that, then I would not do it again. So that's practice. So failing tricks in runs is good, because then you can try them again. Well, unless it's fail and reset.
Oh, yeah,
But
something
for
interesting
low tier runners, it's good
about
actually.
the Pirate's Fortress coming up is we used to think that the vision was decreased on the like it never changed on the inside, but we actually found out that the pirate is actually moved a little bit further back in the hookshot room versus the English version where she's just like a tiddlywink closer. So that's why we're able to jump around it. It's not because of a vision thing, it's because of the range of how far she can see is different between the two versions.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Based on where she was standing, yeah.
Yeah, you can actually, on the English version, still enter with Stone Mask, which, by the way, is item value 69 on English. Yeah, that's actually still used in randomizer quite frequently. I think I mentioned all the 69s now, did I? Yeah.
Nice.
Gotta get them all out there.
Since Nan's playing on the English version, he's not going to be able to just jump around the pirate, so he's going to have to climb up the ladder and go the casual route. But you can still skip the cutscene by shooting the beehive before
Nan
activating
just
it.
barely still won the Goron race. Oh, did he? Yes, he did. Okay.
Yeah, he knocked the last one, like, just barely.
One little detail about the end of that race, if the screen goes white, then you know that you won. If it goes black, then you lost.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Pirate's Fortress goes about how you think it would in a casual playthrough. You just hit the switch, go through the sewers.
Well, I mean, once you are in Pirate's Fortress...
Well, yeah, once you're in the interior, it's obviously different, but for getting in the interior, it's not
Yeah.
the same.
In glitched categories, you can pretty much always just hover over the little gap, and then you're in the fortress. Unless you are just wrong warping. That's the easier solution for it.
Yep. Yeah, and 100% we just warp. Since we're on English for 100%, since the SRMs just work better on that version, we just warp to the upper rim and hit the beehive and then go grab hookshot.
Another interesting difference between Japanese and English is that the Zora swimming is changed in the English version.
Yeah, and also everybody is complaining about different versions. And it's always just, depending on what version you're playing more on, that's your preferred Zora swimming, I think, right? Like, I've heard different people complaining either about English or Japanese swimming.
It's like the age-old argument of hold versus switch targeting, basically.
I mean, for this game, obviously, hold target is better, but in Ocarina of Time, I don't know. Or is it? Anyone complains about that comment?
I agree with hold.
I mean...
They say that true players use hold targeting.
Zora, not Zora, what am I saying? Majora with switch targeting. Come on, that's
God,
just... Dude, no. I have no idea how ZFG is doing that. ZFG is using switch targeting.
And now you're gonna see I don't know do that side hop we were talking about around the pirate.
Mm-hmm. Just side hop and then roll around. So the pirates are actually, they react to walking, but they don't react to rolling, side hopping, or back flipping.
Yeah, they cannot catch you while you are rolling or side hopping.
Unless you like roll right in front of them, of course, but they won't turn towards you. The Gibdos and the Redeads work the same way, actually.
So the chest is turned the other way on Japanese because there's a little shortcut that was removed for whatever reason, which you can take right after you shot the beehive. If you like normally go upstairs to shoot the beehive.
I'm not sure why they changed that on English.
I mean, the room layout was a little bit weird, not gonna lie. I mean, Pirate's Fortress, from a game design perspective, in my opinion, didn't make any sense on Japanese, so I understand why they changed that. But here, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit more debatable.
Yeah, now we're gonna make our way back to Clock Town after getting the egg and the hookshot, and We're gonna sell our gold dust for some easy money to go into the I think we're gonna buy. We're gonna get a fish in the trading post. Do we buy a red potion?
No, we don't need to buy a red potion.
No. Yeah, so I think we just get the fish and we buy bomb shoes.
And we also buy another powder keg later.
Yeah.
4 later, excuse me.
So if you only have ever played this game casually and think bomb shoes are useless, you're gonna see some really nice uses for bomb shoes.
Yeah, in almost any speedrun of this game, bomb shoes are just...
Yeah, even in glitchless. I mean, in glitch categories, bomb shoes are one of the most useful items.
Yeah.
Explosives in general are usually really powerful in these games.
Yeah, now we're gonna go fight good old Kita.
Yes, so the runners need to go to the graveyard while it's still night 1. Because only then you can get Song of Storms.
You can do it night 2, but it works out better for the route to do it night 1.
How do you do it on night 2?
Well, you can do
a different grave.
Yeah, there's a different grave, and then you can jump across the stalagmite.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's used in there's actually another route that does skips aliens entirely and only does 2 bottles, and that route goes to graveyard night 2.
In my world, you always need the long jump, but yeah, you can do that stupid stalagmite jump that I always fail.
It's a little silly, a little awkward to get used to, but I have a setup that I use that works pretty well.
Me and Jess had a competition on who could get it the most.
I tried it a while ago and I just could not get it, and then I thought, dude, does this even work?
Yeah, I personally never really struggled with it, but it does fail sometimes. Alright, so for Keto, we're gonna drop a bomb before the fight starts, and what this is gonna do is the bomb's gonna go while the cutscene starts playing, and right when he starts walking, he's gonna get hit by the bomb mid-cutscene, and that'll keep him planted where he is, and then that'll prevent him from walking all the way up and make the fight much quicker. Because you can basically beat him before he gets to the first flame wall. And we're just gonna do stick power crouch stab to take care of him quickly.
Did you know that they actually changed those flame worlds quite a bit on the English version? Like I found recently some little glitches with those firewalls, but they didn't work on English. So they were patched apparently.
Interesting, I didn't know that.
You can lurk away the little stall children on Japanese, and then let Kita win, and then the firewall will still stay active. It's pretty funny.
Interesting.
I always think the Kita cutscene is a little neat, even though it's slow. It takes forever.
You actually can wrong warp into that cutscene. It's one of the few cutscene warps you can do. I mean, it's useless, but hey.
I've always had issues with that little jump across the chest. I usually end up equipping hookshot and hookshotting over it. Like half the time I slide down.
Pretty stupid. So yeah, going into Grave 1. And I don't know anymore what's the fastest strat to kill the Iron Knuckle.
It's technically punches.
Yeah, you can use punches for the entire fight, but it's a little risky.
Yeah, I know a pretty safe strat, but I know it's slow. So let's see what the runners are going for.
Yeah, usually you punch at the start and then you just pound, punch, pound, punch.
Yeah, so the thing is, the runners only have 4 hearts, but the Iron Knuckle deals 4 parts with one hit of damage, so it doesn't
One hit and
matter if
dead.
you have four. Yeah, one hit and dead.
Looks like I don't know
So yeah,
doing the
this
safe strat.
yeah the safe strat.
So yeah, the safe strat here is pretty easy.
And the second phase is easy. You just time the punch. You don't have to worry about anything as long as you just don't miss the punch.
Yeah.
Just don't miss, forehead.
Interesting thing about lighting those torches before you walk into the Song of Storms room is lighting the right torch first is actually faster. By like a quarter of a second.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Just don't make mistakes, forehead.
Yeah, Song of Storms use is obviously to access the Gibdo house by playing it in the cave. And coming up is actually what's going to determine what kind of routes the glitchless runners will do. So there are several things that can happen. Or that can happen. Basically, if their in-game time is too close to being to 3:30, and they don't have enough in-game time to go to the cave and soar to the ranch, what they're going to do is they're just going to hit the Ikana Owl and soar to the ranch, which is called Owl Soar. And they're basically going to do Woodfall straight after aliens instead of normally if you do cave first, what's called Cave Soar. You just do well after aliens, and then you go to Woodfall after getting Mirror Shield. And then if you have too much in-game time to spare, yeah, well, you'll do he'll hit the owl, go to cave, and you'll also grab Gibdo Mask, and then go to aliens.
Nan's gonna have to go to Woodfall after aliens no matter what, since he doesn't have any beans at the moment.
Yeah. For Nan, none of that really applies, but for the rest...
and I believe Ragan does Woodfall 2 early no matter what as well, just because he prefers it. It's like 1 second slower, I think, because you have an extra fire arrow equipped.
It often also depends on where you are when you get a night transition, I think, or a day transition. Because I've seen Trev Person rerouting on the fly just to avoid a day or night transition.
Yeah, you basically want the day transition to be in the well or in Woodfall, I believe, or in the... yeah.
Yeah, because depending on the area you are at, there can be a day transition or not.
Yeah, inside the well or inside dungeons, there's not a day transition. You just see the little text on the screen. But if you're like on in an outside area, most outside areas, you will get a cutscene, and we don't want cutscenes.
Yeah, and what you saw I don't know do is normally I think you're supposed to make an ice platform and hookshot at a tree, but you can just get really close to the edge and basically be as close as you can to the tree, and you can make it with a sort of precise hookshot. It's not too hard, but it's hard to set up quickly and get fast. Yeah, seems like I don't know is good for a cave soar here.
He's even good for Gibdo Soar, actually. He's at like 230 right now. He's got plenty of time.
So Regan's going to pour a weird safe strat.
Yeah, seems like Ragan's going for the punches on that first phase.
Alright.
Played it a little bit safe.
Yeah.
Still got it though. Yeah, interesting fact, and it's actually optimal to get a cave soar instead of doing a Gibdo soar. And you might be like, why? Like, you get Gibdo Mask before aliens, but if you have too much in-game time before getting to aliens, that means you routed your in-game time poorly, or just something happened to where you miscalculated what would happen leading up to aliens. So it's kind of just all about how you played.
Is that accounting for how you can use a bomb chew for Panela with if you go get Gibdo Mask now instead of later?
Yeah, because you can Goron roll up to the house and you can pull it. I don't really remember, to be honest. This is all just what Trev told me. He's just like, if you do a Gibdo soar, then you routed your in-game time poorly.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like Jess is good for a Gibdo soar as well. So 2 Gibdosaurs so far. And as for Ragan, he might be able to do that too. It depends on how this next part goes. But Jess has been playing very well, so it kind of makes sense why he has a Gibdosaur right now. Gibdosaur is always faster. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really too sure about all that.
And we have the nice Gibdo cutscene. Or I don't know.
Probably one of the
That
longest
cutscene-
cutscenes.
Yeah, in glitched categories, it actually saves so much time to just skip that. You can clip into that house from, I think, pretty much every side.
Yeah,
And
that one
it's-
corner on
it's
the
so
house just
busted.
absolutely sucks.
Yeah, it's so poorly made. You can clip in so easily.
But clipping is a glitch.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it looks
Dragon
like Dragon will
Well, I
be
mean,
good for
technically,
Gibdosaur
it's
too.
not clipping. You just go over the wall collision. Technically.
All I hear is clipping.
I mean, I think technically it counts as out of bounds, but I'm not sure. Also, here first use of bomb shoes. So you pull the bomb shoe during the cutscene, and then it explodes right when Pamela ran in again. So that's the perfect time, and it's the fastest way to get into the house.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually take a bathroom break myself, so I will be right back.
Alright.
All right.
Looks like Anand's having a little difficulty with this
Mm.
water spout here in Pirate's Fortress.
That's actually a little easier on English. If you actually he uses both, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, he fell all the way back
oh
down.
no! So usually you use Zora Mask to throw boomerangs at the thing, but when you charge the boomerangs, you always need to slash, and that steps you a little bit forward. And on Japanese, that can make you fall down, but on English, that was fixed.
So you have to climb the ladder, looks like, to shoot the
That's
switch.
unfortunate.
Okay.
Yeah, once you mess this up, you lose, unfortunately, quite a bit. So
I
yeah,
believe
it's
there is a
alien time.
backup you can use to shoot Zorfins from by the door, but I'm not
Yeah,
familiar with
that can
with it.
probably be, yeah. Yeah, I guess with some curved boomerangs, that probably works.
Yeah, and what I don't know what he's doing right now is you'd think he would Goron roll up to the aliens, but he has a lot of in-game time to play with, and using Goron is, you obviously don't need as much in-game time to reach where you're going. So he's using the slower form human to just waste that in-game time to get up to the barn here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
since
every
the game has
mask
his pause while he's putting on and taking off Goron mask.
every mask transformation loses some time. So if you can avoid it, you should avoid it.
Also, you can just shoot right through the barn during the aliens minigame.
Yeah, I almost thought he was gonna miss that, but he got
Oh yeah.
it
Real
like
close.
pretty close.
There's
That was
actually
really
there's a
tight.
route where you actually skip getting this bottle here. So this alien quest is for a bottle.
Yeah,
It's not just for the bottle.
here. Yeah, we also need
So
milk.
there's an alternative route.
Yeah,
When
so
you
it's
go into
convenient
the-
that it happens to give us a third bottle and milk for the well.
Yeah, and the milk is of course used for hookshot jumps for getting up to the stone tower, right?
Yeah,
No, of course not. That
that's
would
an
be a glitch.
application in other categories.
No, you
That is
just
definitely
you
a cool
just
glitch.
use it in the well.
I've been enjoying
It's actually
it.
used in all masks. You get this. You do this quest in all masks, I think. Get the milk bottle and then use it for the hookshot jump. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think all masks no SRM actually does light arrow again on the compass
I
chest with that trick.
Was that still? I think that wasn't quite rerouted yet, was it?
Claire did a kind of her own route for it.
Oh,
I don't know if it's like fully optimized and routed. I don't
I
think
didn't
it
know
is.
That's cool. Yeah, with Milk Swap. Milk Swap is our newest glitch, or significant glitch that is not SRM. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see that in no SRM categories now. So I guess
I don't know is going to the well
AFK
now.
for 1 minute, if that's okay.
Okay.
You're right back.
I don't know has plenty of in-game time to make it into the well before the day transition hits.
Yeah, normally if you just do a cave soar in game time is a little bit more tight, but it's pretty nice here.
As long as you get like inside here, down to the bottom of this part, you'll skip the cutscene. And here's where the beans come into play that we got like at the very beginning of the run. And we've had them in the inventory like the whole time.
Yeah, we only have like an hour and like 10 minutes or so left.
Mm-hmm. Halfway through. Oopsie. I don't know, accidentally gave the wrong thing to the big kid though.
Yeah. And then our first application of Choose will actually be coming up here on the big Poe fight, which we need for the to get further into the well for Mirror Shield. We'll actually be sending a Chew at a specific time when we're running up to start the cutscene of the Poe spawning, and then I'll actually deal damage right when it spawns.
The first use was actually Pamela, but yeah.
Or Pamela, but yeah. A more interesting application instead of just making noise to draw her out, I guess.
And then with that first hit, what we can do is you can pull out bombs, and you can, if you throw the bomb at the right moment, it'll explode right when the Poe is becoming active, and then you can just hit her over and over before she has a chance to attack you.
The Poe is female?
It.
Okay.
He, she, it.
Oh, it. I just came back. I heard something else. But yeah, Majora is female because her name ends with an A. That's the rule according to Anna.
Of course.
And Dragon is of course doing the stupid Poes, dude. Why do people still do that?
He's trying to do like a weird shot.
No, he's trying to do a Hess.
No, he got an ESS.
Yeah, doing a Hess doesn't matter because it doesn't gain him anything. It's just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really benefit the run. Yeah, now that's where that milk's gonna come into play for this specific Gibdo for the last room. Also, another thing about the big Poe fight is you can actually manipulate your movement, so when you kill the Poe, it ends up by the door, which is a bit faster.
Yeah, because the big Poe will always spawn behind you, so you just move in a certain way so it spawns there and gets closer.
We finally have our Mirror Shield. We're done doing.
Yeah, the mirror shield that you need for the best room in the game. But that will come later. Man, I'm already so hyped for that. Kappa.
Yeah, now we're gonna go and complete Woodfall, and then we'll move on to getting New Wave, and then doing our last two temples, pretty much. A lot of the prep has pretty much been done at this point.
The last two dungeons are the most difficult, but they're also the coolest too, I would say.
Yeah, in my opinion, Great Bay is the coolest, but also the hardest by far. So I think it's also an unwritten rule that casually, in every game, the water level or dungeon or whatever is always the worst, and then in speedrunning it's super cool.
Can confirm.
Yeah.
I speedrun Ocarina of Time Glitchless, and Water Temple in that category is really cool.
I'm always a sucker for Stone Tower and Glitchless.
I think Stone Tower was like my favorite one casually because I love the whole idea of flipping the temple
Yeah.
upside down.
Yeah, Stone Tower Temple is just super creative.
Yeah, you can see how much Hookshot just owns Woodfall. You can just Hookshot straight to that torch. Oh, I don't know if he was still off the wall. That's okay. We can just go back over.
If this torch wasn't hookshotable, then you'd do this temple in one trip.
Yeah.
Or you activate the ladders. Maybe. Oh no, you wouldn't do that, right? That's already losing too much time, right?
Yeah, because of the cutscenes.
Yeah, and it also makes getting up to the boss door here pretty simple. You can still shot that right torch.
Yep.
And that's how quick Woodfall 2 is. We're already at Adola.
It looks like I don't know is going to be using quick spin strats on Odala instead of the standard.
Yes, on Japanese you can use power crouch steps, which is very consistent and easy, but optimally you use quick spins. Oh no, he's doing crouch steps. Okay, was not quite in the right position, unfortunately. Oh no, he failed the damageless Odolwa TM.
But the way Odolwa works is that when you hit him, he has invincibility frames, and then he jumps away. But there is a small period of time before he jumps away where you can hit him again and knock him back down. And as long as you don't mash your slashes, you time them correctly, you can keep him down on the stun lock.
Yeah, the exact same mechanic will be seen later for Majora's Breath.
Mm-hmm. I think Majora's Wrath is a little bit more difficult to stun lock than Odolwa, but...
Actually, I would say it's the other way around. What makes Wrath more difficult is that there are the remains that you need to care about, in my opinion. So, I guess that's preference.
And then yeah, you can see for Ragan how the cutscene doesn't play with Tattle apologizing and whatnot, because we've already beaten Snowhead. Yeah, there are lots of cutscenes for the runners to interact with the chat.
You Drendo players always complaining about cutscenes. I was playing Render recently again, and man, there are so many cutscenes removed now. It's incredible. It's so cheating. It's yeah. They are not even playing the game anymore for it.
I think Ragan forgot to hit the Kana Owl.
Oh, really? Oh no. Oh. That's really bad. So yeah, you can damage boost over those fences. And optimally you use the real bomb juice for it, but it's very tricky. So he just uses bombs. Or not. Yeah, real bomb juice are a pain in the ass.
Or would you say a pain in the blast?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said.
Yeah, we'll be depositing our last egg, our previous egg from our first Pirate's Fortress trip, and then we'll be getting the last 3 and getting the other 3 from Pinnacle Rock, and it'll be Great Bay time, which I guess will decide how far people get ahead of each other.
Yeah, you can lose so much time in Great Bay Temple. Just to movement, because it's very, very difficult. And there he is, at the Icana Owl, finally.
Looks like I don't know, just did what we call boat jumps, where you jump onto the boat and hookshot up from there instead of going all the way across.
Yeah, optimally you do that, but it's very tricky because the boats are moving.
Yeah, and if you're too close, the pirate will catch you.
So and here's a little skip. You just do a jump slash recoil. I missed it, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not really precise at all, but sometimes your sword doesn't really hit the wall if your angle isn't in the right range.
You can have a good angle. But every egg except for one egg, we can skip the pirate fight using little jumps like that. The next one coming up, we're also going to be able to skip as well.
Yeah, and you can see Jess opting not to do boat jumps since that's a bit more risky. So he just goes around, hookshots torch, and gets in that way. I really like the movement in PF when it's done well. It looks very nice.
But this
Remember when Regan said?
We call it awkward.
Remember when Regan said to just enjoy your 4-minute time loss at Lullaby Skip? And now he's so far behind.
Yeah, he's also kind of low on health, so he's running away from the bombs here.
He tried to use a chew.
Oh, what is he doing?
I think he's trying to avoid equipping arrows.
Man.
Well, I don't know, just did there. I've actually never seen that setup before, but you can side hop right past that pirate. You don't need to like stun.
Yeah, that's the only pirate fight.
Yeah, this is the only pirate fight we do. Yeah, that was a little bit slow because she kept blocking. You want her to keep attacking you so you can just spam your thrust. Because when you do a thrust, you can you do multiple hits.
Looks like Nan is taking the Ikana early hook shot safe by killing the Octoroks. And he got it. Good.
Yeah, those Octoroks can be very annoying.
Yeah,
so
it seems like Jess had a good pirate fight.
Easy.
That's pretty much what you want. Getting our last egg in PF, and we'll soar back to the lab and drop those 3 off, and then we'll have some fun with the eels.
Is there actually any reason why you do Pirate's Fortress the second trip before the eels?
Well, because the first egg, you really want a hook shot before you go to Ikana for the
Yeah, but I mean that's the first trip, right? But the second trip, does it matter whether you go to Pirate's Fortress again or to Pinnacle Rock?
I think it works out better for equips to do Pirate's Fortress first.
Yeah. So it's.
Before Pinnacle, I was getting confused.
Yeah, sometimes just equips work out better, I guess.
They are pretty close.
Yeah.
Which is funny since I don't know, did Lullaby skip and Jess didn't.
Yeah, but Jess is on a really good run right now.
Jess also did not do Big Octo skip either, so he's like 5 or 6 minutes route-wise behind I don't know, and yet he's still keeping pace with him.
But yeah, we should not forget that the new skips are very hard, so you can very well lose time to those.
So if you'll notice, I don't know is doing what we sometimes call YOLO dives, where you jump across the top of the water here. As long as you know the path to the Pinnacle Rock, you can just swim through it. You don't need to use the seahorse. Looks like Jess is going to do YOLO dives as well. Oh, dang it, he voided out. Oops.
Yeah, that can happen. I actually still don't know. I have not memorized the route for Glitchless here in Pinnacle Rock. In ADR, we just get the egg at the bottom last, because we can just use Ocarina items, which is a glitch to put out Ocarina when you are underwater. But obviously that's banned here. So you want to route it that you get the last egg when you are closer to the surface again.
Yeah, so Glitchless gets like the middle egg and then the bottom egg, and then comes back up and gets the top egg and leaves. That is one of the nice changes about. One of the nice changes about the 3DS version is that they allow you to play the guitar underwater without a glitch.
Oh yeah. So basically, the 3DS version is a glitch.
Yes. It might as well be.
Because Glitchless, and honestly, the only thing I'd ever run if I were to play MM3D would be Glitchless. But other than that, I don't know.
Aren't the glitches the coolest thing about the 3DS version? As far as what I've seen, Bottle Adventure, and it even has Mix Swap.
Yeah, I think
And
recently they're
Golden
finding
obviously.
stuff about like Dry Bomb SRM or something. Dry Bomb.
Oh yeah, in theory that also should work, I think, on our version, but I think nobody got it to work yet.
Please don't change 100% for like the 20th time, dude. Oh my god. I think this last year, there have been more route changes this last year than there has been in like probably the whole time running like 100%.
Excuse me, before SM was found, there was one route change every
on
week.
JP, there was one route change when Wallet Dupe got found, but that was about it.
Dude, there was every week there was at least one route change. I mean, maybe sometimes not significant, but you are just making things up now. There was already. I mean, okay, maybe the route changes were just so small.
On the later routes of JP, it was consistent for a very long time.
Yeah, okay.
The majority of it. It's not like the whole thing was getting switched around every other month.
Yeah, so it looks like Ragan accidentally caught a fish in the other tank. That's just another interesting little change in the Japanese and English version. If you're not careful in Japanese, you'll actually grab the fish first. But on English, they changed it to where you'll always get the egg unless you're not close enough to the egg.
Yeah,
Could it maybe put that fish? Oh wait, no, wait, I'm thinking wrong. But that fish is actually useful in some categories. Or at least in one category.
Yeah, in Glitchless Hundo, I think we... we don't grab the fish there, I'm dumb.
No.
We do that at Swamp Archery.
So, yeah, on Japanese you cannot... On Japanese you cannot use the Zora barrier when you are not swimming or standing on the ground, so... The tank that Dragon just was in is very, very bad on Japanese. When you are within the fish, and they keep attacking you and you cannot move forward, and you cannot kill them because you cannot use the Zora barrier.
Mm-hmm.
It can also be very dangerous at Gaiok later. If it can happen that you run into the fish that spawn in the Gaiok fight. And then on Japanese it can be RIP sometimes. But I mean, if you are not a bad player, that shouldn't happen. Yeah.
You don't need to hit the Zora Cape Owl. We're just here to go to GBT and then leave. Right off the bat, there's going to be a really cool strat in GBT in the first room. We'll see.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a trick called Goron Water Wheel. We're basically going to cross the room using a kind of precise trick to stay on the water wheel as Goron and then roll off onto the other side.
skips pushing the underwater turnkey and then jumping across the water spout, waiting for the elevator, blah blah blah.
Yeah. Turtle cutscene, yay.
My favorite. It's pretty funny when you... So in glitch categories, you skip this cutscene. But if you fail to skip it and then talk to the turtle, it says, "Why so slow?" That's such a fitting
Because
text
I'm
box.
bad, stop it.
Yeah, Great Bay Temple is, in my opinion, by far the coolest dungeon in Glitchless. Because there are still so many tricks.
Dungeon.
Yeah, there's still so many tricks you can do.
Yeah, if you hated Great Bay and casual playthroughs, then this will make it seem
so
like
different.
nothing.
Well, actually, yeah, you don't really skip anything except, okay, you skip the boss key fight. That's the one thing that you really skip, I think. But other than that, you just... you skip puzzles, but you don't really skip rooms. You cheese a lot of puzzles.
Yeah, in glitch playthroughs of this temple, we don't need to change the water current at all. And obviously, if you've ever seen a glitch version of this temple, we can literally do a boss key skip in the first room, so we don't even see the temple at all. But if you watch something
Which
like
in my opinion is
100% or
pretty sad.
AFR...
In my opinion, that's actually pretty sad, because turning the keys and the whole thing with the movement to reach the keys is pretty cool.
I agree.
Glitchless Hundo Great Bay is very cool, because you get to get all the fairies while doing all the turnkeys.
Yeah, I was thinking actually about glitchless all fairy rewards. That would be a pretty cool category. So he is, I don't know, in the first or the second room technically. And now he's doing a little trick to skip the first turnkey to reach the next room.
Huh, I've never seen this particular method of it, actually.
That's probably the best setup I've ever seen. I need to copy that. Remind me
too.
of stealing that setup.
I don't know did.
He basically Goron rolled like from the elevator onto the water wheel.
Oh, that's... instead of like just rolling over and putting on the mask.
So the annoying thing
looks
about
like
the
Jess is doing
Japanese
it too.
version,
Yeah.
on the Japanese version, the putting on transformation masks turns you around, which is always pretty annoying for this trick in particular, but the setup that they just did doesn't have a problem with that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never seen that setup before.
Yeah, first
So
time
yeah,
for me
the
too.
second trick that I don't know just did is to skip ice arrows for the first turnkey. So you need to target at a certain angle, and then you bonk into the wall. Just missed it, unfortunate.
Oh, he's just stuck in the corner. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, he you cannot see it actually, but if you have an input display, I guess you cannot see the input display on the restream, can you? You cannot.
No.
So unfortunately, but you need to target at the angle that you want to grab the ledge at. And then you bonk into the wall, and then you just get the angle back that you targeted at. So you turn around, and then you grab the ledge.
Jess is having to use an old backup strat here, where you can bonk the pipe in a certain spot and get up onto the platform.
I actually don't know that strat.
Yeah, this exists in Glitchless Hundo.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was what people used to use before they found the bonk in the corner with the target.
So yeah, time for the worst mini-boss, Ward. Well, I guess I just suck at Ward, that's because why I don't like it. Yeah, pretty tricky boss.
Fun fact, Phase 2 of Ward is actually weak to Goron Mask. If you can hit him with a pound, it kills him instantly.
Oh, really?
Good luck hitting him with a Goron Pound.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's very
That's probably a
random.
Katas only thing, probably.
I've done it RTA. It's just
Yeah.
Wow.
RNG
Yeah,
based.
that sounds really bad.
One of those butter strats.
So
And
yeah,
you can
Jess
see
is
that-
doing a little jump here to get the boss key. You don't need to fight the frog. The intended way is to use ice arrows to go to the room where the frog boss is, the gecko, and then you get the boss key, but you can just skip everything with a decently precise jump. It's not even that hard.
Yeah. The important part is just
Uh-huh.
making sure you have a good angle and then
Yeah.
enough speed when you jump off, which can be awkward to get used to.
So yeah, the ward fight can be very risky if you don't have a lot of health. So the main reason people are even getting hard containers, usually you want to skip hard containers because getting them is slow. But it makes ward a lot safer.
Yeah,
Because
this fight with
often
only
you-
3 hearts is just...
Yeah, you want, I didn't quite see what, I don't know, did, but there's a strat where you intentionally take damage from bombs to get some double hits on ward.
Yeah, he was doing it earlier.
Yeah, okay. Let's see what Jazz is doing.
Jess is doing the same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
He got a hit.
So
Doubled it.
if you do that, you will guaranteed always take damage from the bombs.
Ooh,
And then
that was
you
pretty
get
good.
the bubbles. Yeah, the bubbles
See,
can
now,
obviously... also-
like, theoretically, a
also-
perfect wart would just run into your bombs here and just die. It sounds like he got hit. Yeah, now he's just
Yeah,
gonna
you
shoot
can
with
see he
arrows.
is very low health now.
Yeah, that was a good wart fight, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Made up for the other mistakes with the bonk.
So Trulinan now has beaten Woodward Temple, and I guess he's catching up. I think he already has Bossa Nova.
No, he doesn't. He's got to go to
I
that
don't- oh.
right after.
Oh, then he's quite a bit behind.
hmm He's still got to go get Mirror Shield too, I believe.
Oh boy. No, he was on the well, wasn't he? I don't know. Maybe not.
No, he doesn't have Mirror Shield. He's got to go get it right after this.
Oh yeah, I can actually see his splits.
You can use a Zora movement here, what's called a Zora High Grab, and you can just completely skip needing to use the ice arrows to cross this platform,
Yeah.
just grab the ledge.
I think ice arrows are just used twice, I think, or once for the waterfall, and something else that I forgot.
What is Ragan doing? Oh, he's just fooling around a little bit, looks like. Looks like Ragan's going to use the
boy.
original strat that I'm familiar with. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah, that strat is so awful because you cannot see where you're jumping. In my opinion, it's awful. On English, it's actually not bad because you are not turned around by a mask transformation on English.
hmm
Yeah, ice arrows are tabbed and more useful and glitchless compared to other categories.
Yeah, in most categories, in glitch categories, they are not useful.
Yeah, we like to meme that they're just bad. Ice arrows are useless.
But they are so cool. They are blue.
Oh, it looks like I didn't know is going to be going for a difficult strat coming up in the seesaw room as well.
Oh man.
So first of all, he's
I'm
going
glad.
to, there's this water wheel coming up that you're supposed to freeze the waterfall, but what you can do is you can actually jump up onto the water wheel and ride it up. Let's see if he
I love
gets it.
this trick.
Oh yeah, so
This is
cool.
my favorite room in the game.
Oh.
Ah, you failed it. Ah, that's unfortunate.
Gonna go over here and back it up though.
Yeah, no matter which category, either glitched or glitchless, there's always something cool in this room. So it's my favorite room in the game.
Oh, he missed that too.
he
I've never seen
had
him
it fun,
actually
but he
jump
didn't.
down like that. Normally, what people will do is just take off
Yeah,
Zora and
it was just recently developed that you don't need to take off Zora mask.
Hmm.
Saves maybe half a second or 1 second. Yeah, if you don't take off Zora mask and then just get moved up by the wheel, you actually hit the ceiling and you get crushed as
Yeah.
Zora because you are too tall. But as human, you are just barely small enough to not get crushed, so that's the easier stretch. So now here is the seesaw room where you normally are supposed to do a puzzle with fire and ice arrows, but with very precise jumps, you can actually skip it.
that last jump to the turnkey is actually very, very precise.
Yeah, it's very
Surprised he
tricky.
got it so quickly.
Yeah, you can see Jess doing that alternative human movement.
Mm-hmm. And then
That
Jess
does
is
cost an extra master edition.
yeah, it looks like Jess is going to be using the Deku mask to make that this jump slash coming up ahead easier, or not jump slash, but the jump.
Is he using fire arrows? No, he's
Using Deku because
Ah,
Deku
okay,
won't
yeah,
actually make the
that's part you
seesaw
can do.
move.
Yeah, Deku is
do
isn't as heavy, so the seesaw doesn't move down. So you have a little bit more time as Deku. That makes it quite a bit easier.
It's like Ragon's fighting Wart now. Ragon just got ISG.
He got rid of it though.
Oh,
Silly boy. Such a...
disqualified for the third time.
Okay, now we're gonna do Georg, which is pretty straightforward. Just stun and keep them
Well, it's
unlocked with your Zora
people
barrier.
make it look so much easier than it actually is. Especially on Japanese, it's actually very tricky. Is Dragon going to die here?
Ragon's getting a little monk ass here.
Oh no.
Oh, he's got health.
Oh,
Okay.
he got that.
Yeah, Gorgon JP is a little bit more difficult. On English, you can just rise
little
and
bit?
sink.
When I was switching to Japanese for the first time, I could not believe how much harder it actually is.
Well, I mean, I started
I
on
mean-
Japanese Georg, so...
Yeah, so if you're used to English and then switch to Japanese, it's just so awful. I mean, maybe I'm just bad at the game. I mean, I know I'm bad at the game, so that's probably the problem. But in my opinion, it's much harder.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can see-
now I got used to it. I'm okay with it now.
What you can do is you can
But
pin
yeah,
Georg up
just-
against the pillar. Like
If you have seen what what just happened to I don't know, he actually unfortunately went through Georg, and yeah, that's something you don't want to happen. You want to swim against him and then basically be locked in place. Just jump, just swim up and down a little bit.
One other notable thing is that Dano is using Zora fins, whereas Jess just pulled out fire arrows.
Yeah, timing those Zora fins is very tricky as well. So it's faster because it skips the mask transition, but it's very tricky.
Mm-hmm. And you need fire arrows coming up for Elegy anyway, so it's not too
Mm-hmm.
out of the way to go ahead and equip them now. You just have to watch your magic too, because you need magic for both the Zora barrier and for fire arrows coming up in Elegy.
So on the English version, compared to the Japanese version, because you can use your Zora barrier while you are not actively swimming, you can just press A and B to surface and go down again, and then use that for the fight, and it's much easier. We will probably see Truly Nan doing that.
Most likely, yeah. Looks like he's nearing the end of the well.
So, third dungeon down.
Yeah, now it's off to go fight Igos. But first we have to get our way through Arcana Castle and get the white to go through the top of the dungeon.
Here's another use of a gainer to go across the sunblock, or over the sunblock rather. Climb it here.
Yeah, well, if you couldn't do the gainer there's actually a switch to turn on the light.
Mm-hmm. Or you could go on
you
damage
could
boost
use-
over it, I believe.
Yeah, no, actually, I think that's too high, was it? I don't know.
The main time save from doing that is you're able to skip the little cutscene that happens
Yeah,
if you
so it's
turn
faster.
around. If you go
So
off the sunblock, you have to watch the cutscene.
you actually also skip most of Icana Castle because you can just. So first of all, you skip this puzzle here, the one puzzle that you're actually doing. Wait, no, the next room also has a puzzle. But you're basically cheesing the whole castle. Normally, you're supposed to go to the to the left side first, and then activate a switch to get some sunlight on the right side, I believe. In the speedrunning community, nobody really remembers how this works because
We haven't
nobody's
done
ever
it.
doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know, fell down. Fortunate. Yeah, but you can skip most of it because you can skip the entire right side because you just can throw a powder keg over a wall where the devs did not think of it as the intended way. They just didn't make the wall high enough.
It's just funny how they just don't make things high enough. Like the jump in
Yeah.
Great Bay, the boss key, they could have made that higher. They could have made this wall higher. It's just goes to show.
Gotta go higher, higher.
I mean, I think in Ocarina of Time it's actually worse. Or better for speedrunning, but yeah. They were not thinking about speedrunning back then, I believe.
It's also important to know not to walk into the loading zone before the keg explodes because that counts as a cutscene skip.
Yeah. Or if you move in much too early, then the keg doesn't
Yeah.
blow up.
Yeah,
That's
then
also
you're-
not good.
Yeah.
Oh boy, time for Ben.
Yeah, we'll
So
be
the
once
runner
again
jump slashing
using
into the
PCS.
Yeah. With Deku Stick, which deals 4 damage if you now do a crouch step on the Japanese version. And I guess Julian will probably use Deku Mask later. Deku is actually very OP. The only disadvantage is that it takes extra mask transitions again. Which is probably always the one little time loss you get. Is Regan
Interesting little
doing...
note about mask transitions too is that they will clear your.
Okay, now Regan actually
sorry.
just disqualified himself, seriously.
Yeah, I don't think he cares.
Yeah, Regan, I mean...
Oh, he
Oh
missed
no, he didn't
anyway.
get it. Okay.
Oh,
Okay, then
How did he do the
maybe he
boat
was just joking. If he would have gotten that, he would absolutely have been disqualified. Because what you can do is you can shoot through the wall at Gaiok, and then he is already hit or stunned, and you can just jump down and the cutscene doesn't play.
that's allowed in bug limit, but not in glitchless.
Yeah, bug limit does allow extended bow. So yeah, I mean, technically he did, again, a glitch that didn't benefit him.
Yeah, what you also notice is they were intentionally taking damage during that fight because right after they get LG here, they're gonna death warp off of Ben with the bomb chew.
And they are almost synced.
Yeah, they are really close right now. I think Jess is actually ahead. No. That was the wrong cutscene.
Very close, though.
Yeah, very
Within
close.
seconds of each other.
Oh no, it just looked like that. Because the camera angles played again, the same camera angles during the cutscene.
If only didn't lose 1 minute on Ice Arrow, yeah.
Ice Arrow's a hard split, for sure. So right after they gain control, they will put themselves to rest and they will spawn back at the entrance of the Ikana Castle.
Oh,
Not right
no,
in
it's
front of the
Ben.
castle, but where the sunblock is.
It's Ben.
Dude, no. Seems like I don't know didn't manage his health properly and has to
No.
use a few chews here.
So
It's not too bad. Yeah, the good thing about juice is they blow up instantly when you hit certain things, like allergy statues or other things.
Looks like Dragon's trying to stun Guyhord with the pot.
Ragon's just having fun. I think he's realized by now like his lullaby skip was really bad, so he's like just throwing the run to having fun. Point.
Now it's synced almost.
Oh man.
Literally seconds of like 3 seconds apart. Oh, Jess just got.
Just ahead.
Oh, Jess is ahead.
This is a race, boys and girls.
Julian dangerous.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you got caught.
Oops.
Yeah, that can happen.
Dragon's skipping the hot container. After this, there isn't really too much
you
you
don't
need
want
to
to refill
worry
your
about.
health after Great Bay. You kind of want to keep that low health for the death
Yeah,
warp.
I see.
Yeah,
Also, I
climbing
think
Stone
the
Tower here is
only
pretty
dangerous
mundane.
stuff. The only dangerous part is maybe Majora, if you get very unlucky, or or you misplay very hard. But other than that, there isn't really much danger to die.
Yeah, most people will grab the twin mode hard container just simply because it's like not much time lost to grab since you're waiting on the warp to activate any. Ooh,
Jess
Ooh.
almost got knocked off with that keys.
It actually has happened to me once that once I reached the top of Stone Tower after I activated the last sunblock. I just got hit by a keys and fell down again.
I've had I was in a race one time where I fell down Stone Tower twice actually.
Oh
jeez.
There's you see the boulder that comes down like right before you.
Yeah. Actually, maybe it was a boulder. I don't remember. So but you can avoid that if you just don't stand at the edge. Even if you then get hit, then you will not fall.
Yeah.
So
I'm
the
super
Stone Tower
careful around there for that reason.
Stone Tower climb is actually also cheesed quite a lot because the devs. I mean, maybe the devs knew about this, but it's not exactly the intended way.
What is Dragon even doing?
No.
I think maybe he was running off Hundo muscle memory or something. And
oh, that can be. Ragnar's currently actually grinding Hundo. Probably bring back the fairies in Hundo after the temple. So yeah, what's certainly not intended is that you go onto this the moving blocks and then play Elegy to move them. But that's actually used very much in speedrunning. So Trulinan eventually getting his axe. And Jess and I don't know are almost both in Stone Tower.
One thing we also
So
have to
just
keep in mind is that the clock tower only opens at the midnight of the third day, so they're going to have to double time in order to time the clock tower correctly.
Yeah. So I think
they're just gonna make it night of day 3, and it'll become midnight by the time they leave Stone Tower.
the first half of Stone Tower Temple actually I think is the only dungeon in which you don't really skip anything, is it? I mean, maybe you choose the one room with bomb shoes, but other than that, there isn't really, or in the elevator room. But I think you don't really skip anything else, do you?
Not really, not in the first half.
Yeah,
Besides
I mean the second half.
you skip that one room, like when you go back to the dungeon. After
Oh yeah, that's true.
But then Inverted Stone Tower is where you skip like over half the dungeon with a side hop. So
yeah, it's pretty busted. Inverted Stone Tower can.
What is Ragan is doing mega flip? Oh my god! Wow.
Yeah, Ragan is just going all out here, I guess. I guess he's trying to catch up. I think he's gonna time stop into the temple.
Oh my god, he's dying from fire.
Either way, even if he ends up beating them, like a miracle happens.
He doesn't care anymore. That's too bad.
Yeah, I'll see just using some chews here.
Dragon. Disqualified.
Look at this dude. Our title is misleading now. A 3-way glitchless race and a cheater. Too dark Ragan took over. The anime villain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then mirror room's pretty straightforward. We're just gonna reflect light off one of the mirrors for a certain amount of time, which will keep it there, and then we'll just hit the sunblock at the other side of the room.
We'll see what strat Jess uses here. Okay, so he's using the one where you climb up here, you punch 2 things down, and then you shine the light. There's also a slower strat where if you knock all 3 of them out and you can kill the bow, that's super safe. That's slow.
Yeah, and then Jess drops that bomb there to kill the bows. Pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and there's time stop by Reagan, maybe.
Do you think he's just gonna cheese the whole temple?
Probably. He's trying to catch up now. I bet
yeah, no,
he
is very, very disqualified.
Yeah, I just DQ'd him from race time.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing glitches just for fun.
Yeah, he's just finishing his run with glitches. No, he started hovering in the stone tower. He didn't really get the Gyre cutscene skip. He climbed stone tower with hovers. Seems like, I don't know, messed up the mirror room strat, but you can try again.
Yeah, once you mess this up, it's so awful.
Yeah, he was just really far behind and kind of was just like... Yeah.
Just intentionally taking damage during this fight because he wants to death warp after you get light arrows. And with Deku Stick and Ice Arrows, you can 2-cycle. Because you freeze him, crouch step, and then do the same again.
I bet he's just Dragon's gonna like weird shot through this room or hover over the block, I bet.
Yeah, he's weird shotting, of
Yeah,
course.
it's probably gonna weird shot.
I'm disappointed
Yeah,
you didn't give him light arrows. Can
I
actually
don't think he knows
glitch
how.
arrows with the new milk glitch.
Oh man, the unbuffered weird shot.
I mean, it's Japanese, so it's not
Yeah.
dangerous. On N64 Japanese, actually, you can still crash. If you get the double thirsty.
I guess this is a good
Weird
time to
shot.
show like how broken weird shots make Stone Tower.
Yeah,
it's so
glitches
fast.
in general. I mean, yeah.
Like he pretty much just
He
caught up to
already
them.
caught up. Yeah, with glitches, it's just.
I think maybe once he caught up, he could. No, he doesn't
No,
have
I
OG,
mean,
so he
at this
can't do the
point.
intended strats.
Also, at this point, I expect him to just cheese the whole dungeon, seriously. Just to show in comparison how powerful glitches are.
Yeah, whatever time he finishes doesn't really mean anything.
It's just a demonstration, I guess.
Yeah.
Truly none at least finally entering Great Bay Temple, looks like.
Getting the fast death warp off the light arrow's chest is actually really difficult. On English, it's actually impossible, but Japanese, it's like you have 3 frames, I believe. You have to make sure that the bomb explodes like almost immediately, and you mash as good as you can.
Yeah, how much longer does Trillinan need? Is it more than 20 minutes?
I think it's something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess...
Because every runner,
Yeah,
like,
probably.
every other runner means, like, Jess and I don't know, are probably, they're both going to get sub 3.
Yeah, maybe
Dragon's
it's a
time
little bit
doesn't
too
really
long.
count, so...
I think it's not... I think it's reasonable to maybe cut before he's finished.
Yeah, after I don't know finishes, I think it'll be fair to cut it.
So yeah, Jess just did a precise side hop. And that actually skips so much of the dungeon that it's half of the dungeon, or the inverted dungeon. And then uses light arrows to shoot Igor from below, which is pretty precise. But that will spawn the chest up there, and you can hookshot it from down there.
Yeah,
If
you
you just
just
position
double
yourself, yeah.
Saves going
But
all the way
first
around
you-
and getting an extra key and all that.
And then
Sounds
comes
like
the boss
Batman.
that glitch runners never see.
Batman!
Dude, when Enop was playing Rando, so you know Enop's viewers only ever see glitched speedruns. When he was playing Rando, there was half the chat saying, "I've never seen this boss before."
So yeah, Jess actually got a strat there with a double hit. Basically, on the first time you go to power crouch tab him, there's another, like, the bats take a little bit longer to go to him because they're more spread out at the start of the fight. So you can actually get another hit in before
Dragon's
get the
almost dead.
rest.
So I guess Dragon's just doing the boss key skip. Did he do a recoil flip? I think, yeah, of course he
I
did.
think he did. He was
Ah,
already
he's
covered.
dead. I didn't know you can
no.
get the cutscene and then die. I didn't know that can happen.
I guess that'll give him more of a challenge to... I mean, if he's gonna skip the Giants cutscene, that's just a giant
Oh, I don't know,
time
getting grabbed by
save.
the Dixie.
Giant
So the
time
hard
save. I see
thing-
what you did there.
The hard thing about the side up here is to not get grabbed by the Dixie hand, well, which just happened to, I don't know.
And you can see their in-game time will perfectly line up when they finish. When Jess finishes Twin Mold, it'll be final hours. Then we'll sword back to Clock Town, watch the moon cutscene, and kill Majora.
So, good shot here by Regan.
Didn't even do it unbuffered. Disappointed.
SMH, dude.
Shaking the SMH inside of my head.
And then he's gonna do the boss key skip, obviously, with the simple recoil from the top. I like how we're commentating a glitched and glitchless speedrun. What the
Yeah.
What am I doing, dude?
I mean, honestly, it's actually very interesting to see that side by side because you really can see how much time glitches actually save. Yeah, there's the boss key skip by Regan. Just clipped through the wall. And he just caught up to Jess. Even with the death. So that just shows how powerful.
Yeah, Jess had a
glitches
very
are.
good blue. And basically why he's using fire arrows on blue is elemental arrows on the opposite color of Twin Mold do actually like 2 times the damage. So 4 shots will kill blue. And then since we have ice arrows, we can actually use them on red.
Technically 1.5 times the damage, and then only half damage on the same color.
Regan was really far behind Fox, so he decided to cheat.
He like hovered up Stone Tower and
Yeah,
he just did
it's
the
3
boss key
times the
skip.
damage compared to normal arrows, but the base damage of elemental arrows is 4, and you deal 6 to opposite colors. So, in my I would consider that 1.5 times the damage, depending on how you get it, either 3 or 1.5 times.
You see, Jess just got the heart container and then got a Twin Mold remains, and now it's off to the final boss.
Yeah, and what truly Nan just does to Ward is about how it looks like when I fight Ward. Just it's really tricky if you haven't practiced the super difficult pro strats here. It can be so tricky. So this is more like the basic strats that truly Nan does. Just hit him once. And it takes significantly longer and is also still quite dangerous with all the bubbles.
Yeah, it's also interesting because glitchless categories actually have ice arrows for Twin Mold. Most categories don't. So.
But I thought ice arrows are useless.
They're good for glitches. I already said that. They're useless for everything, every other category.
I mean, that's
Bug
not my
Limit is like
opinion,
so close to skipping ice arrows.
Yeah, I think the only thing it needs. Wait, no. What does it need them for?
The only
the waterfall.
Yeah, the waterfall in GBT. If they could skip that somehow, they could skip ice arrows completely.
I mean, I wouldn't quite say it's close to skipping the. Oh wait, you could if you wouldn't need to turn the turn key, I think, right? Mm-hmm. For the final switch, if you could, yeah.
Yeah, if you could long jump, if a long jump made it to York, you could completely skip ice arrows.
Yeah, right. That's true. I was thinking about it's not very close to skipping, getting up there without ice arrows, but you would not need to get up there.
Yeah.
So now it's time for our last major cutscene that's about 7 minutes long.
Is it 7 minutes?
Like, yeah. When you enter the clock tower.
I never really paid attention to it.
Gaining control on the moon, it's about 7 minutes.
So yeah, if players wouldn't get the heart container, they could also refill their health on the heart piece here. But there isn't really any benefit to the heart piece.
You could skip that with a long jump in 3D, but long jumps in 3D are busted.
Oh yeah. Long jumps in 3D. are way better.
It's not like
And
this game
Dragon-
where they're arguably, you know.
I'm actually
Okay.
disappointed that Dragon doesn't just moonwarp at this point. Would be
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I kind of expected him to like store Song of Time and skip the Giants cutscene, but he didn't do that.
Wait, how do you skip the Giants cutscene with Song of Time?
As long as you store Song of Time and get it right.
Hey, you just Song of Time outside of the boss room, and then you just bring it up before you kill Mold.
Mm-hmm. Like
Oh,
the thing
that time. Yeah, I was thinking about the final Giants cutscene to go to the moon. Yeah.
No. You do that by doing Moonwarp.
I mean, Dragon, you can still soften.
Or better yet, just credits warp, Kappa.
Yeah, just no, you cannot credit swap.
Just ace your way into the N64 version real quick.
Oh, he doesn't play Song of Time. I'm disappointed. But yeah, in SRM glitch categories, you can just warp to the moon and skip all of this cutscene stuff. And on N64 with Ace, you can even just warp to the credits.
Looks like Nan is using
So,
ice arrows for
yeah.
this jump here.
This is the easier version if you have difficulties with lining up here for this jump. You can also just use ice arrows. I mean, honestly, the devs should have known at least about this. This is really a huge oversight.
Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to have ice arrows at that point, so it's like, how
Yeah.
did they not see that?
Yeah. I mean, not seeing that you can jump up there even without ice arrows, that's okay maybe, but
Yeah.
up there.
I forget if they fixed that in Immigrant 3D. Surely they did.
No, they didn't. You can
They
still,
didn't? Wow.
Oh, at least without ice arrows. I don't know. No, wait, you can still use ice there, obviously. So yeah, you can just still jump up there.
Yeah, because I know they changed ice arrows where you can't use them everywhere. Made them even
Yeah.
more useless in 3D. Talking about the jump to the boss key, Fox.
I mean, let's be honest. The jump up there without ice will never be done by a casual player.
That's true.
So it would be okay to just keep it even if they knew about it. But yeah, with ice, Oh, Judy having some ZFG difficulties here. Not dying to the tactite, please.
Yeah, he's just gonna go through the top and do it that way.
Yeah, there are several ways you can do this room. He's doing a slightly easier way here. You can also use ice arrows. I think that's the intended strat, right? Ice arrows and then walk.
Yeah,
I think you could,
over.
yeah.
Well, I guess maybe the devs also knew that you can do this and then gave the player some options.
yeah, Zora High Grab works a little differently in English due to the changes of swimming.
Render better than vanilla?
Hard disagree
unpopular
there.
opinion. Hard disagree on my side as well. But I mean, we
I
are
like doing
speedrunners.
speedruns.
Yeah. Speedruns over vanilla? Wait, now you're... What? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, yeah, it's an opinion. There's no right or wrong. So just entering the Majora fights. But on his way to first place.
Weird.
Oh, why didn't Nan just void their score on?
Don't know.
That's a weird route.
I think he might be a little bit rusty with the route, I think.
Yeah. I think he was also mainly playing ADR lately.
Yeah.
I hope he was. At least he asked me about racing that. Yeah, that's also what always happens to me. Just run into the mine and then it messes up everything. Oh yeah, here on English, it's at least easy to back this up. On the Japanese version, the switch or this platform thingy does not always stop in the good position like it does here.
There's also a strat where you can just jump across and run across the wheel from the elevator, which is an old strat. That,
oh, really?
Yep.
So yeah, Jess fighting the mask with mainly Zora mask. You need to hit it from behind and the Zora fins. Fortunately, just hit the mask from behind, right as you want.
Yeah, unfortunate incarnation to run into when you're using the Zora barrier there, so you knock it down immediately, but it's all luck-based.
I cannot believe the dragon actually is still behind, even after using so many glitches.
Pretty good second phase.
Yeah. I didn't watch. Did he use the bombs in the middle of the arena?
No, he did drop a bomb for to knock Incarnation back down, but he did not use the bomb in the middle of the arena.
Yeah, if you time it correctly, Majora Incarnation tries to run away just when the bomb explodes, so that will instantly restun her.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, a little bit fast on the crouch tab, I think.
Yeah, so for Wrath you do basically the exact same that we already saw for Odolwa. Except there are many other enemies now in the arena that can be very annoying. Now the Beyblades come out. And there it is. First place.
Yes, I think the PB for him too, 246.12.
Yeah, that was a personal best for Jess, so
nice.
Everyone give a GG for Jess. That was a new personal best for him.
Oh really? Poggers.
Poggers, bro.
Poggers, bro. We should get Jess in here for the interview.
Yeah.
Dragon is disqualified because he hovered up Stone Tower
and then after that several other things.
Because he's a big dirty cheater.
He was glitches. So Dragon would be way behind. I don't know if he didn't use glitches.
Yo, dude. GG on the PV, but that was unfortunate.
I literally lost. Dude, I'm so mad. I lost them. When I wasn't looking at my splits after Ice Arrow. When I was fucking up Majora, I thought I was going to get a 247, and then I just get a 246.25. And I'm like, well.
Just a casual 246.
Okay, well, I lost a minute on Ice Arrow. So
that was a really good run up to Ice Arrow.
Yeah.
That was
gonna be hard to run against.
That was a good run until like I avoided in PR. That lost me like 15 seconds, and then Ice Arrow, Gyarg was fine, and then everything else was pretty alright, except Majora after that. But yeah,
When's 245?
I had fun. After this. Right after this.
I thought you said you'd never see a 46. What the heck?
Almost. I just had to... Literally, I just had to not fail. I somehow failed the bonk strat in GBT to the red turn key. And...
Yeah,
that
was
was very
unfortunate.
sad.
Oh no, I don't know. Getting hit by incarnation. Those light beams can be very annoying. And now we see the 000 strat. So you might know it from Ocarina of Time. I think it's technically slightly different here, but Incarnation's hitbox, there are two hitboxes. One is always in the middle of the arena, and you can hit that with bombs.
Nan just now finishing GBT.
Yeah. So he's basically one dungeon behind, or a little bit more. Because he still needs to climb Stone Tower, I think.
Yeah, a good 20 minutes or so behind them.
Yeah. Oh no, the Beyblades for I don't know.
This is why Wrath sucks so bad.
The Dragon Stop is
Yeah,
already.
I got owned on Wrath. It always sucks on Wrath when you're like on your 8th crouch stab, and then one of the orbs just pushes you away, and then you get destroyed.
Yeah. It was a 250.09, I believe, from I don't know. Yeah,
That's still not bad for a race.
Yeah.
It was cool. We got to see the English strats from Nan, and then the glitch showcase from Reagan was kind of cool.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen, Reagan just gave up and used glitches.
Yeah.
If you are yourself interested in Glitchless, join the MM Discord, and you will be able to run this too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, getting started with this category isn't too bad. I mean, you might not be as good as these runners here quickly, but there are also safer routes. I think more like what Truly Nan did. And those routes are not that hard. You can get started with that relatively quickly and adopt harder strats in time.
Yeah, there are definitely a lot of easier things that have been made to accommodate beginner runners.
Yeah, I've got a full tutorial for beginners as well.
Yeah, that too.
Channel.
If you like what you saw, give all the runners a follow. Join the MM Discord if you're interested in running. And that'll be about it from us. We're gonna go ahead and hit up Truly Nan.
Alrighty.
Guess we'll give I Don't Know an interview too.
Oh, it's James. Oh, dang, he left. Back.
Hey. I just wanted to come in and say grats on the PB, Jess. That's sick.
Thanks.
That's hype that it happened during a race. And also, sorry, I had to forfeit, but guess I got to practice Big Octo Skip. Oh well, at least, I don't know, got to be on it. It was pretty close between, I don't know, and Jess for a while, so it was probably more entertaining that way.
Yeah.
So
really nice. That was kind of funny how they were down to like when they were climbing Stone Tower, and then I don't know, just like fell off the edge, and I was like, oh man,
bruh.
Yeah, I had the restream open and wasn't that far behind, but then he messed up SCT, and I think his in-game time was late, so he had the song at double time at the bottom, so that kind of sucked too. I almost fell off Stone Tower. I got to a certain point, I like rolled into a keys and it pushed me back and I almost fell off. That was really scary.
Mm. Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, Nan actually doing the intended thing? I've never seen anybody do this intended.
Yo.
Yo, GG.
Welcome.
Oh.
Congrats on
Yo.
your PP, even though
Okay. Just trying to get everything right. Since we're gonna finish up, we'll rate off Truly Nan. They are finishing up the runs. They still have whatever part of the run they still have. I'm not good at MM.
It's about 20 minutes left.
Yep.
About 20 minutes of content
Don't
left, everyone. Beyond that, this was an excellent race to watch. It is unfortunate that Vidya got soft-locked and
I didn't
Ragged.
soft lock. I just suck. I just suck. That's all it is.
you're supposed to go along with me. You need to make it better
it
for
was a
yourself.
soft lock for sure. Yeah. Whoops.
Super good soft lock. I know what I'm talking about. I play game. But yeah, we'll be going and doing that, and there is more on Zelda Speedruns later this evening with some Ocarina of Time stuff I want to say, and then also a ton of stuff tomorrow. So feel free to tune in to any of the channels. Beyond that, everyone, we hope you have a great day. Bye.
Catch you later.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.